Hey guys, boy, what a pleasant way to welcome you on this Monday evening to the closing argument after just witness nature saw the eclipse. What a pleasant way to welcome you guys. It's good to be back here on the closing argument. There have been a lot of news and views. What have you been going on, man? A lot of news, a lot of news. The Supreme Court, Yeke Kaluba, you name it, the president and vice president, everybody. God, it's good to see you guys. Good to be back. I'm very happy to be back in the U.S. after a very rewarding trip to Ghana and Liberia. Spent some time there with the Liberian refugee camp on the Liberian refugee camp and saw part of the devastation that have taken place. Saw Liberians going through some of the most difficult times in their life. But we're going to talk about that. In fact, this Sunday, we're still arranging this Sunday at about 2 o'clock. We'll have a special show uh, to show the Liberian refugees the condition in Ghana, their home, and the demobilization of the home and sleeping on the street and all of that. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to meet the vice president, and he promised me fully that he was going to talk to the president and we're going to do something. And I think it's in process. I've just heard that there's a team from the Liberian Gulf in Ghana now, but it was such a great time. We're looking forward to have a great show, guys. The former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, the former and now Senator of Marquette County, Honorable Mike Gill, will be here. It's a lot happening. In fact, it's a lot of breaking news from the Liberian Senate as well. I understand tomorrow will be a historical section of the Liberian Senate. The War on the Economic Crime Court may be coming up tomorrow as well. So, I mean, a lot is happening. Uh, I was gone for about 10 days. I was in Accra, go to Burundi refugee camp. So this Sunday at 2 o'clock, if you're watching or listening, we are hoping to bring live the activities of what happened in Ghana with the Liberian refugee camp, and even bring some folks on the show to talk about their condition. Is very devastating there. You know, we've been talking about that a while, and some people have been saying, "Oh, they need to go home." They're not. They need to go home. They need to go home. It's easier to say than done. You know, I see some folks been in America 30, 40 years, and they tell you, "We need to go home. We need to go home," but they can't go home. We don't know what's going on with them. You know, but hopefully we'll showcase that this Sunday. The Liberian refugee camp in Ghana. I'm hoping to bring the chairman for the Liberian refugee in Ghana to come on the show. We can invite a few other people to come on and let's talk about the situation and what can be done. You know, it's how we're giving back, you know, hoping that something is done. But yes, it was a remarkable trip. Let me just greet some folks. Newly, uh, Lo Benson, Christian Roberts. Say it's always good to be here. Thank you. And Lo Benson is also say we're here again. Good to see you. Roosevelt Flomo, you say great to be here from Minnesota. Thank you very much, Roosevelt. Nora Hope is here. Welcome, Nora. Good to see you. Uh, Kona Donko Kona C Dako following. Welcome, buddy. Miss Bowen Elizabeth, watching from Maryland, Gettysburg. Welcome, Miss Bowen. Emmanuel Ma, I'm here. Welcome, Emmanuel. Good to see you. Jala Washington, thank you for the good work. Thank you, Jala. It was such an experience uh, going there and helping folks in Ghana and Liberia as well. Shia Pia, uh, uh, I'm watching from Barnesville. Spear, good to see you as well. Good to see you. But there's a lot happening. Our special guest today is the former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, uh, Honorable Nathaniel McGill, Senator McGill County. He will be here today to unfold what's going on. I'm telling you, it's a lot going on. In fact, it's so hard to even unpin that what's going on, But we're going to be here. Some folks going to be here. Titus Miller, good to see you, Titus. Titus is a great guy. He's watching. He said thank you for the show. Watching from Worcester, Massachusetts. Thank you, Titus. It's good to see you. You Yum Takate. Sorry if I pronounce your name. Yato, watching from Plainfield, Illinois. Thank you, brother. Thank you for watching. Uh, uh, John Saki Kone. Good evening, TCA. I'm watching from Atlantic City. Miss Smith, welcome, Peabody. Thank you, Winifred, my sister. Uh, Leroy Tule, watching from Johnsonville. Our special guest today, as I said, gentlemen, is the former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Republic of Liberia. He is the senator. He won landslide in Maghiri County, and he's not the senator of Maghiri County. No one else. I always say, you can say what you want to say, but he's such a good man. I met him before, and such a good heart. Honorable Nathaniel McGill. We are honored to have the senator from Maghiri County here today, and we're gonna have Keff Hassan, who's going to serve as the moderator for today's program. So, Keff, it's over to you as we welcome our friend and brother, His Excellency Honorable Nathaniel Fallow McGill, to the closing argument.
Well, thank you, Tomalin. Thank you, Honorable McGill. I think the studio brought him in a little bit early because some of the guys that need to come, they're actually logging in and have a debate. So I don't know if the senator want to come, but I think the studio should have waited for our cue to to bring people in. So I think Mr. Where's the other guys? I think they're logging in. I think Ben, Tomalin, and the rest of the guys will be logging in. Well, Dr. Peabody, so what we expect of the senator today? What do you expect to hear? What do you want to talk about?
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot I expect to hear from the senator, the honorable himself. I'm a little bit. I'll talk to him a little bit about the war and economic crime court. I want to hear from him since he became senator. What are some of the obstacle, or what he has seen, or what are some of the proposals? He's the chairman on education, by the way. If you don't know, he's the chairman on education, and he plans to improve our education system in the country. We already know how difficult it is. What are some of the plans to for our schools, to improve our education system, to hire more teachers, to bring in trained teacher, and all of that. How is he working with them to bring in more funds to support our education in Liberia? So I'm looking forward to talk to him on all of that, So
Okay. Well, what about the issue of the pressing issue right now, the war crime and all the other uh, court? What you make of it? Because we have some development, so and some of the things we're going to be talking about and asking about it. What is your take on that? Some of this thing without giving out your question.
So the honorable is here, and but also I think what I'm hearing, I think is good news. What I'm hearing, is good news, and hoping that something will come up. So I'm waiting. I'm hoping to hear from the senator himself, and also the issue of uh, but you get called by Kev. I have had folk reach out to me. Oh, you need to condemn. Yeah, Kev need to do this. But the fact is, huh, why we sometimes embrace people when it's in our favor, and then when it's not in our favor, and then we go and try to blame others. Uh, 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 I don't agree with him insulting the president of Liberia or insulting females. But he did this to President Weah. He did it to other people, and other people embrace it and call him as a smart man. And all of that. Now he's still the same. He hasn't changed. He said, "I will tell you exactly how I feel," and he coming on and saying it. So what is good for what goes around comes around. And it should not be something that we need to be. People calling me, oh, you need to condemn it, stuff like that. I don't support the fact. I've told Honorable Kalwa that even in the past, when he insulted President Weah, that it was not a good idea to insult the president. I did tell him that. It's not a good thing to insult women and things like that. But look, man, Yeke is Yeke, but some of the very people that are embracing that saying now, oh, Yeke should be arrested, this should be done. Where were they when he was insulting the former president? When he went about saying things about President Weah, they all sat down, clapped their hand, uh, 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 and had nothing. They were happy about it. So he has not changed. Yaka, his message is the same. But look, Kev, I'm looking forward to having a very frank conversation with the senator on what I want to hear about his plan and the goal, what he plans to propose in the Senate and bring up. I'm more concerned about that. Honorable McGill is a very it's a strategist, is a political strategist, and he knows how to really move and twist things when it comes to politics. So I'm really looking forward to hear from the senator and having conversation on a wide range stuff. A very wide range. But I can assure you that it will be a great show today. Yeah.
I think you should check. You do have a message, Peabody, in the. Right. Yes. Well, our audience are out there to the radio land and everybody. We're having McGibby Senator Nathaniel Fallow McGill, Chairman of Education, will be the guest on our show today to talk about matter of national issues around that include in everything we happening in the country. Remember, he was the Minister of State for 5 years, and so he know the ins and outs of uh, uh, government, and so he's now the senator. Uh, Ansu, you here? Can you weigh in on? Can you hear me, Ansu? Ansu, can you hear me? Ansu, Ansu Sheriff, can you hear me? Uh, I think we're having a problem with Ansu. Can you hear me? Ansu, can you hear me? Okay, I think there. So as we speak, the senator is in the back. Um, I think we do have the working on some connection with the radio. I think because I've seen them doing some connection.
Still working on it.
Yeah, I see the seeing some connection. Peabody, you
Yeah, I got you.
okay?
Yeah. So
Okay.
we good. We good. Carl, just calling the other guy. But
Okay.
Jeff, if the guys are ready, I'm Sue Salif. You muted. If you can
Yeah.
unmute, if you're ready, I think we need
Let
to
me see if
start the
I can
program.
mute him if you can hear me. Let me see. God, because I'm trying to.
Do you Salah is watching. Uh, 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 Edwin Kura, big brother. Thank you, man. Thank you for the compliments. Oliver Sakor is watching from the Bujumbura camp, Accra, Ghana. Oliver, welcome, man. Good to see you. Oliver, good guy. The guy that took me all around Ghana, and very good man. Oliver was great. He did a good job. He took me to Accra and other places. Nice young man. Nice young man. Oliver, good to see you. Thank you for all your help in Accra, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah. So folks out there, please share the show. Share the show and let everybody on because we know the radio on. We are on True FM, Hot FM, and we are all over all the counties. Both stations reaching all over Liberia. So this interview, a lot of folks will be reached. So and folks out there, if you do have a question, maybe you can just write it down, you know, and we can see it, read it, and ask Senator McGill. So at this moment, you can put in your question, and we will. And when we see it, and it's a fitting and good question to ask, we will read it and out there because we know a lot of people got good questions to ask. So at this moment, Senator McGill, I see him in and out from the back, but I believe we will, and he will come back because I this in Liberia. Sometimes the internet with a problem, but
yes, once he once he come on, we'll bring him on, and then we'll start the show because I know we're running against time, running against time. But he's doing good.
yeah, I
We'll
see him coming. I
let's
see him
let's
coming on. So let's bring it on and start.
yes yes
Yes, let's bring it up.
let's do that.
Yes, Senator McGill, the senator from Magibi. Welcome to the closing argument, sir. You can hear us, Senator?
He muted. He mute.
Let me see if I can unmute him. Senator, can you hear us?
Yeah, he's not
Senator,
hearing me.
can you hear us? Oh God, we're having this.
Senator McGill, can you hear us? Yeah, we got connection issue.
Yeah, we're having connection. We're having a
Yeah, but while we await the senator, the internet and everything gets on, Kev, we will be able to get into our conversation. We're looking forward to a very fruitful, great
Mhm.
conversation with the senator today. So we are looking forward to that, Kev. So until he gets
Until he
here.
come back. Yes, so we'll ask the senator. You know this ruling that came out today. What is your take on it?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a lot happening. It's a lot of news, Kev. It's a lot of news. It's a lot of things happening. We saw the president with the CEO of Mittal Steel today as well. We saw the ruling from the Supreme Court, and apparently, people did not read or consider what was. listed in that ruling, and people just took to the stage and said that oh they have ruled against this person without taking time. One of the things is reading is very fundamental, and sometimes what I do when I get report like that, I take my time to read it and I try to just go over some of the terms that are being used and try to define those terms and see so that I will not be, reading the wrong thing. And apparently, some folks did not read. Some people just jump over their own conclusion and started doing that stuff. But yeah, we saw that ruling today, and it's just a lot happening. There's a lot happening. You see. And we got a list of those who will be implicated in the War and Economic Crime Court. There's a long list located, So the senator is here. Senator, welcome to the closing argument. You can hear us.
I can hear you guys, but we get some more internet problem.
Okay, but we hear you
Okay,
clear now.
I hear you clear now. You can hear us now?
Yeah, I hear you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you very clear.
So are you ready? You ready now, or you're still working on it?
No, but we can chat.
Okay. So again, welcome to welcome to the closing argument, Senator McGill. As we speak right now, you are live on True FM, Hard FM. Oh God, they're gone again.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will come back. The senator.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Guys, we're having a senator of McGill County, senior senator, Honorable Natana Fallow McGill. He will be here, folks. We've just been having some problems with the internet. He will be here. But what I ask you to do is to keep sharing this.
Keep sharing the show. Keep sharing out there.
Put it in your chat group. If you're in the chat group, just copy the link, put it right in there. So yeah, because a lot of people want to join us. Good evening, closing arguments family. Good to see you, James Coyote. James, I'm sorry I couldn't see you, man. I was all over the town, everywhere, villages and everything. So a lot of people I couldn't see. I'm really sorry if I didn't see you while I was there. But we're about our mission and making sure that we deliver what we were sent there for. But I'm sorry if I did not see you. So thank you, Helena Flomo, for sharing the show. We just continue to do that. Sharing the show. The senator is back. Let's see what I can bring
back. Let's see if you. I think they're still working on it.
Yeah. Senator, can you hear us? Yeah, he's still. The internet.
Put him in the back a little bit.
Yeah, the internet can be very difficult though. I was in Liberia. It was a tough thing with the internet. Very tough.
I remember when in Liberia we had an interview with Freedom FM. I was at the hotel trying to log on. It was giving me tough time. I had to drive to Freedom FM that night.
Yeah, that can be very tough sometimes. Yeah. That can be very, very tough.
Yeah.
But again, man, it's good. It's a lot happening.
Also, yeah, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm getting you guys. You guys are clear.
We're clear now?
Yeah, you guys are clear.
What happened in the town today? What happened in the town today? Give us a little bit overview of the things, Ansu.
Well, not much. Just on this scene, I said we call it the case indeed. But I think the training issues will kick off tomorrow after the Senate decision on this War and Economic Crime Code, the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Code. So I strongly believe that as of tomorrow, the next court talks you will in this time here. would then start to hear Liberians again on their say. But so far today, just under the asset recovery issue, you guys, I think, maybe informed that last week the court gave the gracious right 1 week to come up with all document to show to the court on the vehicles. Yeah, so we all waited for the 1 week, and then today we got another information again that I think due to not providing sufficient evidence from the government, I think that case threw away. So the gracious reward has been given again the right to plow the street of Monrovia and outside of the city and other parts of Liberia. So far, that's only the news that hit lately this afternoon between 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So wait on tomorrow for the Senate again on the decision on the establishment of the war, the economic crime code. Then we don't Liberians get the feedback and we'll ask tomorrow the city will then get busy.
Wow, so Gracious Rod is back in town, but you know what I didn't understand is I know people want to move about with the asset recovery and do things, but to everything there is a law, and there are procedures. You don't just take the law in your own hand, and that's why it appears that the asset recovery was doing. They were taking the law in their own hand and wanting to just move about and do things like that, which was totally right. I think the Supreme Court did the right thing. Liberia may not be but it's a country of law, and sometimes it's very
Mhm.
good for us to proceed. Proceed. Take your time and proceed. Don't make it appear like it's a wish hunt. You want to disgrace this person. You don't know how whether this person have legal documents and all of that. Sometimes the gradual process helps you in the decision that you make. Proceeding gradually is a very good step because it helps you in the decision that one makes. And I think with their process, they have rushed it too much, and I think it was not the right thing to do. I think they should have follow the procedure than to just go on the street and seize people's car. We saw how the former police director was embarrassed. They went there and decided to take a car and do other things, which was not right. But I'm glad that decision the Supreme Court came in. So we're looking
I
forward.
just see, I'll tell someone today, people, why must they be running beyond commercial vehicle taxi?
Hmm.
And I don't know why must they be running beyond commercial vehicle
Right,
for government. So it was something which I stayed doubting on, and why they are really stressing on these vehicles.
right.
So that's showing that they say maybe the same before coming into power that these are vehicles they are all that stood up money got the vehicles there. So maybe they just rely on it they say, because if you follow the past performance when they carry on the operation, it was very bad off. They just stood
Hmm.
there at the Minnesota complex where they were standing and just watching any vehicle that see coming. They should be one of the government car. They pack this one. The other vehicle that see coming, they should be another government car.
Yeah.
Just pack this one. How do I carry on the operation?
So they were going there and just just going after people. They were not sure what they were doing. They had no legal stuff to enforce. They were just going catching any car they see, and that somebody gave that example as a classic example the other day of a witch hunt. That complete witch hunt. When they find out, oh, this person owns this car, you go after it. I don't care. The person can appear guilty to you, but you got to proceed with the law. The law is the law.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go with the law.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how the person or how you perceive that person to be guilty, or you perceive that person to be a criminal, you must go by the law. It's not what you think, it's what is the law and what is interpreted. So I'm hoping that you know that they proceed the right way, because this was becoming bad, and citizens were complaining because I mean, you can't just go after people like that. You might have the legal means of doing it. You're not there to attack people or because of maybe personal vendetta or what's going on. So you just, oh, we'll go after the person because this person was powerful in the last government. Oh, we'll do the person. I think what it did to Joe for Rao, it was really bad. It was really bad. They should have proceeded because if they have really familiarized themselves with the law and know what it says about this asset recovery, then they will have a better understanding how to go about do it. But like, they were just trying to score points. Oh yeah, they're moving on. They did this because even when that ruling was held today, and some folks did not even read it, I saw folks,
Exactly so.
I saw folks celebrating. Oh yeah, after recovery here, we're rescuing the people. We are doing this. They didn't even take the time to read it. And when you send those kind of information out, it goes around the world. So you have to be careful how you relay this kind of information. If you don't understand the reading, don't just go about and start talking. Take your time, read it, and find words that you don't understand. Try to the old way we to do it, define the word and see how it fit inside an area. I think that's the best thing to do. Just be there and people and misinforming people and what happened today. You see, what if those people had gone and seen Joe for a ride in the street and try to go and attack the people again and say, oh no, this, stuff like that. But folks got to be very careful. Familiarize yourself with the law, get to know the law, get to know what it says, then you proceed and do your work. In that way, when you do it, they even take you to court, you feel fine about it, Kev.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's common in Liberia for folks to misinterpret the law. It's right there. They told them to go back and follow the law. You cannot walk in somebody's home. Nowhere in the world you can walk in somebody's home, you seize their property without a due process or without a court order. You cannot see somebody's car and they say, okay, we got intelligence that the car belonged to X, Y, and Z and seize it. It don't work that way. That's not a civilized nation. It don't work that way. Go to court. If you got credible information, take it to court and the court will decide. They will look at it and say, okay, what are your evidence?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is, scary. So
It is.
somebody can see because they see Dr. Peabody picture with the former president and Dr. Peabody carry a car to Liberia. They say, oh, credible information that we saw the picture together, so that car they take your car. That's the thing. That's the scary part, and that's the kind of jungle justice that we see under this unity party government bringing. Is very very scary
Mm-hmm.
because anybody can just do it. Somebody from the Unity Party will just walk and say, we seize this person car. Let's see.
Yeah.
The senator is in the back. Let's see again if this will work. Senator McGill, you can hear us now because it keep going.
Yeah, I'm hearing you guys. Sorry,
Yeah,
man. Like the internet issue is a problem.
yeah. But before you go off, let's go. Let's do your intro. Because we already introduced you because of the time. So let us kick it
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
But let me say thanks to you guys, Kevin and Peabody, Dr. Peabody, and my brother and friend in the studio. It's a pleasure for me to be on your show for the first time. And I'm here for the interact. I know you guys want to hear from us. Especially during the more critical time of the legislature. We are back to look at the budget, the issue of the War and Economic Crime Code issue. The president has also sent us some financial for the past. Basically, in the next 30 days, I don't know whether we can achieve that, given that from what I saw today, the first budget hearing, I think there were more questions than answers that need to be asked. So I don't know whether we can. I really don't know whether we'll be able to pass the budget in the time that we have allotted to pass the budget, because there are too many questions, too many unanswered questions regarding the budget. So, but let me leave it at that, and say it was always a pleasure to be on you guys or to be on your show.
Okay, thank you, Senator McGill. You start on this budget issue. The other guys will join. Ben will soon come on, and with Tomalin and some other guys. But you start on this budget issue. Uh, let's look at this budget. In this budget, uh, is the Senate prepared to pass this budget as it is, or the Senate going to send this budget back, or what will happen? How is this budget? Can you explain to the people what in this budget that is not for the people? The question is: this budget is for the people. Is the people budget? That's my first question. Is this budget the people budget?
Well, Kev, and when the budget was first released, and our initial assessment was that the budget was a very bad budget. While the budget was before the Senate, let me say before the legislature, the budget did not address a lot of things. I mean, the government concluded that they have made considerable adjustment in the budget by reducing the budget of certain agencies and ministries, specifically the executive. We talked about, they were celebrating how they have reduced the president's budget, how they have reduced the vice.
Oh God.
They actually did not increase the budget to affect the ordinary citizens. And I said to them, I raised the issue one that look, in the first place, we have lost considerable revenue, and that matter was raised today. That the budget is actually short. The 692 is actually short 14 million, and that makes the budget balance. And so the fact that they already have a shortfall in the budget and they can't account for all the allocation they've made, and they've caught a lot of compensation from ordinary citizens, and we don't even know who are the citizens they caught the compensation from. So that worries me that the budget has not affected the ordinary people, but instead the budget has gone to the Ministry of Finance to affect public officials, senior public officials, and they've deceived the public by pretending like they're cutting the Ministry of State or the President budget and other senior official budget, whereas they've decided to just pretend that they're cutting the senior administrative budget, but they're keeping the money in finance ministry so they can use it on the quote unquote diversity or contingency fund so they can fund the program of the various agency or ministry. That is the perception. I think the budget is just bad. It doesn't address ordinary people. Mind you, sir, gentlemen, I see a lady there.
Yeah, this
And
is
look,
Grace.
we have
Grace, welcome.
before we made an argument, you get over $297 million going to compensation. It wouldn't affecting basically maybe 70,000 or 80,000 people. If you did a multiply effect of 10% to 1%, you're talking about 800,000. But this over our population estimate right now is about 5.3 million person. So you're talking about there are over 4.5 million people who the budget would not affect. In terms of development, there's no money. In terms of other social services, there's no money. Everything just in recurring account, recurring costs, compensation, and there's no social benefit. I think the budget does not serve the people. And I think the Ministry of Finance has not done a very good job. I briefly appeared today at one of the budget hearing on the revenue side. And from what I saw today, the Ministry of Finance and the guy were not ready, they were not prepared to defend the budget. And that was very sad. Maybe tomorrow I'll have the time, to attend the revenue side, the revenue component of the budget. But just the fact that from the revenue side, we already lost almost 14 million. And the budget, we leave the budget imbalance. That's a serious sign of concern. I'm not even talking about the expenditure side. The expenditure side is even worse. They're taking a lot of money from compensation. They've taken almost $8.8 million from compensation, and meaning a lot of entity, ministry, agency employees, instead of increasing people's salary, people are losing. We're all doing any hell. I don't know how they came to the conclusion of removing $8.8 million from compensation, and so that's a serious issue of concern. There are other aspects of the budget that we talk about that I have concern about, but right now we're just on the revenue side. But just on the revenue side, the budget is imbalanced. So they brought 692 million. Why were before us we lost additional 14 million? So
But
when you
that's the
calculate,
question I want to ask you. Welcome, Telvi. Grace again
What's
for
up,
welcome.
Kev?
That's the question I want to ask you there before I go around to the guys. So you're saying that the budget of 692 million, when the Senate looked at it, it was short $14 million. So the numbers were not adding up. So they gave
no,
us, so they gave the public wrong figure. So it's no more 692. So it was short
I
14
ran out of
million.
I understand right now because the executive order the president issued, and I raised that even before today. I raised that one of my press conferences that when the budget was before the legislature, the president issued an executive order affecting a surcharge on petroleum. And I saw a charge on petroleum, and there was a shortfall of 14 million. So you get 692 before legislature, with your allocated and spread across all the sectors. But now in actuality, you only get around 670 something. And how you going to redistribute that? Because now if you can't find that money, that means you got to go reallocate the budget. Even in the
Wow.
reallocation of the budget, they're not very genuine. They're not transparent in terms of who's supposed to receive what when it comes to the salary expenditure. And that's they mislead people. They have misled the public. For instance, on the expenditure side, I just give you an example. When you go to Ministry of Internal Affairs, there's no local transportation. How people are going to operate? When you look at the vice president office, they put 10,000 for domestic travel. When you look at the president office, they put 100,000 for domestic travel and the international travel. So the total, when you look at it, both sides about 200,000. It's not possible for president to use 200,000 for the whole year for foreign travel. That's not possible. That's a deception. That's a complete deception. But
Wow.
they take $8.8 million from compensation. Compensation is really affecting poor people. Look, I have the whole spread here. I can go from ministry and agency to tell you how much they took from each ministry and agency. For instance, just the legislature alone, the compensation they took from is $2.8 million. I mean, who is it affecting? They need to tell how many employees they put down from the legislature because you're taking $2.8 million from compensation for the legislature. That money is going to be going to poor people. And you take it, you get the Ministry of Finance to go keep it. So how are you going to pay the people? Then now you say you want to drop 40,000 people. That is the way, the whole thing gets confused. You know,
Wow.
we have a
And
terrible budget. The budget is very terrible. And it's sad. I don't know how we're going to pass that budget. You know, I'm trying to push education. For instance, the increase education. I want to know which of the line, how effective ordinary citizen, volunteer teachers. Because during the campaign, volunteer teachers issue was one of the major campaign issues. President Barker campaigned on it. President Weah campaigned on it. When it came to the budget, that issue was never addressed. So he misled the people. He deceived them to say, vote for me. When I get elected, we'll put you on the payroll. The guy elected, they abandoned the volunteer teacher. They did the same thing with the health worker. You remember during the campaign, there were a few health workers were saying, you harmonize my vote, you harmonize my salary, I will harmonize your vote. So they made the voluntary nurses to believe that when they win the election, they're going to put on the payroll. Nobody will put on the payroll. So at the end of the day, all these people have been abandoned. No salary is increased. And so it's just a whole kind of situation, a very messy situation, very messy. So we gotta find on our way to balance the budget to get a budget balance. And anyway, actual bread and butter issue. Actual bread and butter issue. It's sad. You get a lot of bureaucrats in the mansion. The president gets so many advisors, and they are dropping ordinary people making just $168 per month. You are employing several bureaucrats who are making $7,000 per month. It's just unfair. It's just unfair. It's sad. It's a sad time in Liberia.
I will go to Reverend sorry, Reverend Peabody.
They may not ready.
I am.
How
I
you going
am.
on?
I am. Let me, Senator McGill, it's so good to see you. It was good to see you at the Capitol building as well last week when I was in Liberia as well. But let me ask you, I'm more concerned about the education and the health of Liberia. Uh, and you talk about how much were allocated for education in Liberia.
Well, the education in general, they said, when you look at the budget, we're still going through the detail because I want to go from school to school. I want to know which aspect. But in terms of employment, they said it was increased by $7 I think around somewhere around 7 million. But I'm still trying to look at the detail of which area it affected. But when it comes to, we got to look at school fees. We got to look at wise fees. We got to look at the free education policy on public schools, tuition policy or initiative. So these are things my start out. They're studying a different aspect. The budget project we just got it on Tuesday, and now we are going through the detail to find out. But I'm very concerned that mind you, it now this has been a persistent problem in education. Teachers are complaining. People are on payroll not taking the guy who go to classes who are volunteer teachers, they can't get paid. And they can't get paid, but if somebody put teaching, they're not going to classroom. The system is just bad of you go in the interior, specifically in the interior, you get most of the problem in the interior. No chairs in the school. Some of the school need renovation. The schools are not renovated. Some of the children need training. The proper training has not been done. All these things we want to look at. So how much money you put in education? How is it impacting on the students on the whole learning environment? These are things we want to study, and these are things we want to be done. Because if you want good education, you got to pay people good. If you want somebody to go in the interior, you got to pay them good salary for them to go in the interior, to go and teach and provide the kind of quality education that you want your children to have. But these things are not being addressed. So they just throw money here, throw money there, and make it appear that they're doing something, but they're not being very specific in terms of detail. So some of the questions today, so they're increasing people's salary, people are losing, we're all doing in the head. I don't know how they came to the conclusion of removing $8 million from compensation.
We are in it from the back.
Yeah, I think your radio or something.
Yeah, my TV, I think on the guy put on the TV, just keep on very loud.
Oh, okay.
So there are a lot of issues that the budget. We want the budget to work for the people, and we want the president to also keep his commitment. Because look, gone are the days where Liberian politicians will mislead the people when they come to power and they want to do different things. And the budget is the only instrument that we use for the people to benefit. I've always said that the money belongs to the people. And I believe the distribution should be such that everybody should benefit. But a lot of budget benefit from my country. I want to see how much money we put in my country when it comes to the issue of health, when it comes to the issue of education. Besides, a chairman of education, I have to be general for everybody. I want to see how it impact on a national scale on the educational sector. Besides, and I don't only have to look at education because the public servant and the national leader, I want to make sure that the budget also impacts other areas like health. The health, the health workers, they cried a lot when I served as Minister of State. There were a lot of complaints from health workers, a lot of volunteer people. We tried to intervene. We made some considerable achievement, but we didn't do everything I wanted to do. And now we are where we are. This government has come. This is the government of the day. They presented a first working budget to us. We are reviewing the budget. But my only frustration is, ladies and gentlemen, that we should be truthful to the people. We should not mislead the people. And I have not seen the truthfulness in the presentation of the budget. Just the way they present the budget. Look at the compensation, taking people money, civil servant money. You don't know haircut. You don't know audit to say let's clean up payroll. You just make arbitrary decisions to let cut some money from there. Let cut money from there and keep it. And the way you're keeping the money, you keep it on the Ministry of Finance. For what purpose? There's no purpose for it. 8.8 million now. At least you should distribute it somehow to say, we hiring volunteer teachers, so we're giving another money. But you take it, you put it on something called there was a pool fund. What for? Nobody knows. So maybe you're keeping it because you misled the public that other entity money has been reduced, so you can use that money to amend the shortfall that you have not allocated the money for. So these are some of the basic things. But just from today conversation with the budget hearing, it was not too good. So I think I felt that the gentleman from the government started to present or to defend the budget.
Yeah, because Senator, you talk about teachers, volunteers, teachers, especially in the countryside. I went to some areas. One area I went in Vassar. Most of the teachers at that elementary school, they are volunteer teachers. So when you go there, in fact, we built this school about 4 years ago. We turned it over to the government. Say this is for you guys. You guys can have it. But when you go there, the teacher expect you to compensate them. They expect you to give them money so that they have not taken pay. They only been volunteer and all of that. So how do you plan to go about to actually get these people on a payroll so that these people can provide the quality education to our students that they will be teaching? Also, my last question, before I come back is, do you think the free education at University of Liberia are going to continue on this project?
Well, I really don't know, but one of the things we're trying to do, we can achieve, is that we want to make it compulsory by passing a law. And that law is currently before me or before my committee on education. So once we return from our break, the committee going to make a report to try to see how that law how it become compulsory in terms of making law, because it was a policy decision by President Weah. So this government can choose to scrap that policy to say no, we're not doing it because it's not compulsory. It's just a policy decision. But one decision now, so that any government will not just cancel it, become a full-blown law to make sure that those policies continue, because those Peabody, Liberian young people deserve some of the piece of the pie. Everybody deserves a piece of the pie. My man, we are using right now. You're talking about $1 million. You're going to people 77,000 person or 80,000 people, putting it in their pocket. And maybe when I will let it do a multiply effect or 10%.
Senator, the internet, internet is really difficult in my room.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, I was there and I saw what it was like. Very, very difficult.
He will come back. So far, guys, okay, the senator, I see him coming back again. Wow.
They're going to your budget allocation. Funding another line.
Well, so far, what you guys heard from the Senator Grace, I think after Peabody, you're gonna come in and then.
Yeah, I'm done with my question.
Yeah, Vina will come. Okay, Senator is in the back. Let me bring him on. Okay. Yeah, Senator, you can hear us? Senator, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Senator? You muted, Senator.
Not today. No internet will go off.
But Kev, you can unmute him too.
I am trying to do that right now. Senator, you can hear us? I'm trying to, but it's not going to. He got.
Oh, yeah, I try to do it too. It's not.
God,
Yeah, internet is.
this is Savina countries. Okay.
Well, Chris and
Grace
Tavina, good to see
coming.
you.
Yeah,
Good
you're
to
coming.
see you.
Grace coming. Savina.
Well, I would really like the senator to come back. I have some questions for him. So I'm really hoping that he can show up to answer my questions. I don't
Yeah.
know what to actually say concerning anything except he's here.
Yeah,
Because,
he's in the back.
yeah,
It's the internet.
but it's nice to be on here, and hopefully the senator can come back on so he can answer some of the questions.
Yeah.
Tavina, you.
Debbie.
So yeah, welcome me to your platform. Before I start talking, yeah, know I can talk plenty. You better welcome me.
Tavina, nice meeting you.
Savina.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, young and
Boys and
old,
girls.
young and old, join me
Yo,
in,
yo.
in welcoming Miss Tavina Cole.
But Tavina, Tavina, you're one of our first lady on another platform, right? You are the first
Of
lady.
course, yes.
You are the first.
No.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
I'm delighted to be on. You know, actually, the time you guys come on, most of the time I'm at work.
Yeah,
Obviously, we talk behind the scene, but
the senator is here. Let's see if we can get him. You know,
yeah, please do.
Senator.
Yeah, what I was saying is that I got in depth of the budget to find out whether the guy going to keep the policy, but next year we want to make sure that it will not be a policy decision; it will be a law that these payments will remain in place because our students deserve the program. They deserve a free tuition policy. A part of our constitution, Article 6 of our constitution, the government must provide mass-based education. So that way, people from the general part of the country, so it can just be for a few people benefiting. You get 77 or 80,000 people benefiting from 200 and almost 300 million every year, while the vast majority is struggling. So I think that's not fair. So we're going to make sure by the law and there'll be free education. We want to increase it to make sure that the program for all public high schools, from elementary to high school, also be free in terms of government will pay the money or the people go to school and learn both. You know.
Okay, Senator. Thank you. Let's go to Grace. Grace, you have two questions.
Okay, hi, Senator. My
How are
name is
you?
Grace Correnting. I think you know me. We used to live in Logantown together. We grew up in the same neighborhood. I think you grew up with my brothers.
Oh, it's a very long time.
Kwame and Kofi, my marriage, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm the little sister.
Okay. Happy to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. So, I have some few questions for you. I know that the overall plan for the budget is to actually develop, improve the quality of the citizens and everything in the country. And the main benefit of the budget actually is to enhance public services like education and healthcare and every other thing, maybe let me see, safety concerns and things like that. So I see you're talking about the budget. I don't know much about, I'm not a finance person. I have a good friend who is a finance person. So, I wish she were here, but she's not on this platform to really ask you deeply into what I want to say. But, listening to you talking about the budget is just like you just got an epiphany right away concerning this budget, but you were in the last government and the budget you guys were passing never benefited the people as much. So you became senator. I follow your platform a whole lot. I call the people of Magibi because I've done a lot of work in Magibi. And I asked them, but why you voted for McGill? And the major forces in Magibi told me that you were very nice to them. And you fixed 2 roads in Magibi. They said that they used to take 2-3 hours to get to a certain place, and you fixed that road. Now it's like 30 minutes for them. And the other guy that was there, I forgot his name. I think it's Nikwe. and he never did anything. So that was the reason why they voted for you, because I wanted to find out why would they vote for you when you were in the last government and the government ready they performed in some way, they never really performed in other ways. And especially when it comes to the budget, most of the money that was allocated in the budget was never, put in all these things that you are complaining about right now. So now that you got an epiphany, you just, came in the Senate and you're a senator and you complaining. But I want you to really just give me the distinguish to me on this platform the difference from the budget that was passed, even the last one that was passed in the last government that you served in as senator, compared to this government. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a UP person. Compared to this government, what's the difference that you complaining a lot? Because most of the budget that being passed is just like they're taking it from the playbook at CDC. So what is the difference? And tell me what
Yeah, but
differently that they can do
there's a
compared to
difference.
what you guys do.
There's a difference, To be honest with you, when CDC took over, we got the budget down to the needs of ordinary people. Look, I always make an example of supporting education. Look, I was driving one day after we had launched the free tuition program for the bunk students union. At the time, most parents could not afford, and we went to Bonkande and launched this program. And an old lady, when she heard I was going to Bonkande, she said she would have to see me because the women of Bonkande around Salala had planned a program for me to stop and speak to them. And the woman came to me and said, Mr. McGill, I want to come tell you thank you. You and the president of the republic, President we are. He said, I have 4 children. I could only afford to send one to school because I don't have money. But because of the program you people have initiated, I can now send my 4 children to school. The point I'm making is that we took the budget from the marshal and gave it to ordinary people. We brought more people on the payroll that were never on payroll before. For example, when we took over, there were 2,000 nurses working for an NGO called Global Fund. And Global Fund left in 2018. They closed down, they shut the whole operation down. Once we took over, we brought 2,000 nurses on the payroll and said, look, you deserve to be paid. And so the budget began to work for ordinary people. Yeah, maybe we didn't do all that we wanted to do because 6 years was not sufficient. I give another example. When the University of Liberia was running before President Weah took office, by 2017, and we took office 2018, the first thing President Weah met was a crisis at the university. Students could not register. The students started demonstrating. The first day of going away, there was a demonstration in front of the mansion. And the president said, but why are they demonstrating? The students said, Mr. President, we can't register. So why I can't register? He said, even it's difficult. So we want to digitize the process. The president went there, they found 300,000 straight, and made registration at the university very simple. The next issue was, Mr. President, the enrollment at the university is only around 8,000 when they do pre-registration. But when after the pre-registration, when the student pays school fees, the enrollment can drop all the way to 4,000. That means 4,000 students will go out of school because they don't have school fees. The president said, but there's money in the budget. We can find money to pay students school fees. And because there are programs today at the university, just at the university alone, I'm talking about across the whole country where they get public university. Just at the University of Liberia alone, the enrollment grew from 400,000 people. Now you see, so when you see budget affecting the people, ordinary people, those are things, these were some of the transformation that the budget working for poor people. Money was not there for the elitists. We're putting money in there to affect ordinary citizens. And that program went around across the whole country, affecting all public colleges and universities. So it can tell you how much students, if Elliot alone get 20,000, it can tell you how many poor people now were benefiting from the budget. That only thing we want to do? No. A lot of things we want to do. We want to make sure that people have access to loan because we're taking all sorts of loan from World Bank, from IMF, from here, with very concessional interest rate. So the budget got to work for the people. The next thing the president said, you know what? Our parents been living in the interior. For the last 170 years, they don't have road. So we got to take money and build a road. Today you can now, as we said today, you can, the road from Ganta to Zredru, money has been allocated and fund to do the roads. Look at the RIA road. Go in the interior. All our roads have been done. Those are the things we know in Liberia before. But these are the things that ordinary people benefit from. And I'm people taking salary. You take 300,000, 300 million a year, a few people, you get 80,000 per. What about the 4.5 million people? Why are they benefiting from the budget? The way they benefit from the budget by building roads. And started building roads. So more money was going on to social services, community development. Community now were not benefiting from the budget because development was coming. Go in Nima, go see the number of roads that were built. From here to Ganta, from here to the southeast. The president negotiated that. So money was in the budget working for the people, making sure building roads, social services development. If there's no road, you can't bring your market you can't bring your product to the market. People can't come. There were areas that road were getting problems. Road, don't get me wrong, we didn't build all the road, but we did considerable work in trying to get road issues resolved. Those are issues that never resolved for 170 years. So we're getting the budget to work for ordinary people, not just putting money in the pocket of a few people. Before we told over the budget, a cabinet minister was making 10,000 US. We'll cut it down to 7,000 now to make sure that we'll get more people. People say, yeah, we didn't bring private sector, we made the government payroll big. But the government payroll got to get big because the only people are employing people and the money was there for everybody to share. The money was there for a few people, so why you can't share the money with the other people? Instead of saying, I want to draw 40,000 for the money for everybody, that Labrenpo money, so Labrenpo deserve to benefit. What's the crime in giving money to Labrenpo? Hey, but you want to take it away from that, you say you want to build small government, you want to increase other people's money. Look, in the society, everybody needs to have a small part of the cake. Let everybody enjoy, let everybody family go to bed, everybody can eat small dry bread. It's better than trying to put money in one man's hand while 10% don't have food to eat. I mean, that's the kind of poor government we're running. So the impact was there. Always saying to the government, now you bring a budget to us, and you want to cut down all those things that we were doing that affected the ordinary citizen, you want to cut it down. That's not good governance, especially in the poor Liberia today that we're running. Everybody deserves to be finding food to eat. I know they got to call you here in America. I know the kind of pressure on you put in America every day. Say, please let me tell you, I don't pay my school fee, you. I don't pay my rent, you. I got to go to the hospital. And that problem will always be there. But the more people get something, the burden will not be coming to you guys. Because everybody will get something to eat. You know, for all the poor people government were running. So let everybody find something to eat. Instead of saying people eat and other people don't have food to eat. You know, I know it's difficult to say you'll get all the 4 million people on job to pay them, but at least we're making gain. People are not paying school fees. That was helping more people, more students graduating from college. Now one say, well, the next year was saying, let employ more volunteer teachers, let employ nurses. You know, people graduating from nursing school? Because the free tuition program, more people graduating now. Go to LU, every point, almost 3,000 people on every year, every graduation. All the small different tertiary university graduating nurses, they need jobs. They can't just go and be giving injections to people. You don't pay them. You know what I mean? You know, if you can't pay the people, it's a danger to the sector. So there are a lot of things that our government doing was very good. But at the end of the day, people are very impatient. They want more to be done. They're not doing more. They say, okay, the government not doing well, things too slow. They take action and move you. So that's a scenario that happening right now. Look at Jeff Burger being powerful for 2 months. People are angry. People are already angry. People are disappointed. And they the boy, people are disappointed right now. People are disappointed. It just tell you the expectation. People not waiting for time. They're not waiting for you to say, because people want something done.
So yeah, but because the resources are there. And the thing is that the resources are there. Librarians are being given so much money and grants and funding to do what they're supposed to do. even if they were just using those money to do those things, Liberia will be a better place. And that's the reason why we expected Bwaga government to hit the ground running, because we thought that we are government were kind of slow in how they were proceeding in helping the people in the country. So that's the reason why the people expectations are high. There is no time to waste. The world is moving fast. Things are happening quick in other countries.
Right.
So we expect,
you get it right.
Yeah, we expect our government them to give us, deliver what they said they would give us. But my second question to you is that, so with everything that's going on, what are you going to do now in our Senate to fight? Because you say you're reviewing the budget right now, and the budget is not forthcoming for the people. It's not going to enhance their lives. It's a kind of one-way budget, and things that the people were expecting, they're not going to get it through this budget. With all your people, how will you negotiate with the other senators for you to stop this budget and get a better budget? Mm-hmm.
My sister, you're quite right. You are quite right. You are quite right. Our people are so impatient right now. They put expectation because when we campaign, we can make all this stream more. When you vote for me, I will do this. When you vote for me, I will do that. You vote for me, I will do this. So Baga made all the big promises. They put talk with, like you say, people talk we're too slow. We're trying to make it, but people say we're too slow. You want something done. People graduating from school, they don't have job. The only thing everybody depending on is a big public sector government. Even the private sector. Look, we're bringing companies here. They will come tell you say we employ 10,000 person, but as little talk. When you're getting all the concession agreement, they will start with 500 people. But then you add them. Let's look at Mr. Steve for instance. They've been here for a while, almost I don't going to 20 years now. What have they done? How many people they employ? Almost 3,000 person. They supposed to employ 35,000 people. But only 3,000 people we're talking about right now. Even the 3,000 people, every day confusion there. So the only room you have is, like you say, the budget. And there's so much opportunity, my sister. You're right. Look, the reason why you see we're doing free tuition there, because money was there for us to say, let's pray around. Some of the money people came doing Ellington and United Party first term, first 2 year. You can't understand why people are not paying the people. Even right now, I can't understand. Even the government decide, for instance, let's take money from civil servant salary and keep it on something you call diversity pool fund. That one there, I can't just understand the logic. Because that money they keeping, I think they're keeping it for some other reason. Because they keep it for some other reason. Maybe take the money and give it to us. They do something. They reduce the president's salary. That one I joke. No president, I was saying to somebody today, I said, let's take up politics. It's a shame for anybody to believe that me, Natalia McGill, will support the idea that Joseph Boakai will take Oscar from here. He go to Nigeria, a friend go to Nigeria, will take Oscar from here and fly to Togo. He leave from 7:30, fly to Togo. He get to Abuja 7:30, take 12 hours to go to Togo. That's a shame for bro. We're not disgrace brother. Like that. So I will not criticize Joseph Boakai and say, why Joseph Boakai can rent one private plane and go? If Joseph Boakai go, he's still sleeping in Hilton, Abuja, where all the presidents sleeping. You take Joseph Boakai carrying the someone behind the hotel because Labro want to be cheap. That's not fair. So let's be honest and say, you know what? And Labro, they just want you to be truthful to them. And say, you know what? Joseph Boakai got to see here. Because Joseph Boakai security involved. The president of Labro. I get money to poor people. I agree with you. Money there for to spend. Let poor people enjoy. Let poor go to school. Let build a road for the people. Our parents in interior, they were looking for security. And more build a road for them. They're making their own fire, doing everything, but they want security so they can sleep in the night. You know what? In the interior, the biggest thing we wanted is security. Every day you go to our parents go to down, we eat, in the night, we go outside, we play, we go to sleep. That's the only thing we wanted. It will make our farm. So right now, the only thing you want in the interior, they put one road. When you go in the interior, they put on tell you about salary this and that because they don't care about salary. What they will tell you is that you please pay our road. Somebody walking for you just made a reference to why I want so many reasons. Because I only one reason because I help more than 10,000 students in my Gibi country when I was in government will raise money for them to go to school free. So the student voted for me massively. The parent, I help the children. So people say that the road, when they will raise money to fix the road for the people, you got 45 kilometer road. The road not be built for 50 years. That road not be built for 50 years. I went there, I said, the poor kid told me, Mr. what can you help us? Fix our road. The road not be built for 50 years. We'll turn our road around, we'll say we can do it. So when they mean people don't like to do things for people. So it possible, but one man can build a road will be here for almost a year. Or leader and say one man can build a road, they make a kind and mobilize money and build a road. We'll get them out of support because we think they may become they may will help us. And my philosophy,
you never gave me your what you never told me exactly what
I'm telling you, what I'm telling you.
I just wanted to
I will negotiate. I will negotiate.
Finish.
I will negotiate. Okay, the point I will negotiate with because I like the politics. I will negotiate. The government can choose it without listening. And for me, the government does not listen, and I believe that thing they're supposed to do, and they didn't do it. They may pass their budget, but I will not vote for the passage of the budget because I will say the thing I wanted in the budget, you didn't do it. So I'm not supporting it. Say I get a majority because I want a majority vote. I can cry from it. Now the judgment day, if they get a vote, they will vote against me. I will just make the noise. So at the end of the day, we try to use our influence in the best interest of the country. Other politics aside, in the best interest of the country. If they don't listen, I will keep making the noise. But that's how it works. Because they will get a majority, they will pass the budget the way they want to pass it. And the only thing we can do is to criticize the budget, is to make the noise. But if they listen to us in the best interest of the country, we'll work together to find the best means so the budget can and benefit the people. That's all I can do, dear sister.
Can I just suggest before the other person can I just want to suggest to you that when you go back there, try to negotiate with your colleagues and your pass a law so they can carry the Senate and the legislature back to where it used to be and cut all that money in the budget away from you because the Senate and the legislature are too lucrative. Now everybody want to run there to make money. And it's taking away from our people. So you need to cut everything down for your
lucrative compared to the
country with how they used to serve the country before. When we were growing up, that place was not lucrative. It's a lucrative business. That's why most people run there. So for you to be a good citizen, go pass that law. Go ahead to pass such a law.
Yeah, but the going to be minister job more lucrative more than that job. Can you imagine minister Ryan 100,000 in a car, the senator Ryan 45,000 in a car? People yet think that job lucrative is not true.
But you think they're supposed to be giving your car? Do you think that the government like we're supposed to get your car? You think the people like rest are selling property on the sidewalk? But to be buying $45,000 car? You're supposed to have your own car and go to work.
But the question is, but then why they buying car for ministers? So if they don't want to give me car, okay, I agree with you. If they don't want back car for me, they don't want back car for me. They don't want back car for all. We're not back car for nobody.
Yeah,
so fair enough.
They're not supposed to back up.
We're not back up for ministers. They don't want back up for senators. They should not back up for ministers.
No.
So we'll go take loan, buy our own car. The minister go take loan and salary and buy our own car. That's not an argument. Somebody can say argument. You don't want back up for me. You don't want back up for me. Don't back up for me. I can go to the bank and negotiate take loan, but the minister too, but I'm back up for the minister. So don't back up for anybody.
Okay.
I think it's been the norm.
Okay, let's.
I think the norm is it's been the norm for many years that all the government officials get a car. I think it's been the norm. I don't think anything,
No, it's not been no, my brother. My mother working government. I didn't know that. Since in the 70s, they never gave her a car. She paid her horse on LPA. She took the LPA, she worked, and she took her, they took her from her check. Now
your mom was representative or senator?
But let's go to Tevi. Let's go to Tevina Code. Okay, let's go to Tevina Code now. Let's go to Tevina. Tevina Code coming.
Me, I believe the principle. You want back up for me? Don't back up for nobody. They all going to go use our money. We'll go take LPA. But you can't back up for minister. If you buy 100,000 car for minister, I'm a senator, you gotta buy 300,000. If you give me 25,000 car, I get 25,000 car to the minister. That's not an argument. So minister can be Ryan, better car than the senator Ryan. I will vote them for you. They put the jail upon you. You get budget. I don't have budget. But you Ryan 100,000 car. You want me to ride 30,000 car? I will not do it.
Okay,
Mr. Ryan, you gotta buy a thing car for me.
Mr. Marquis, I think we got your point. So we got your point. Can we move on? Can we move on to the next question? I think we got your point. Is that okay?
Yeah, please do.
All right, thank you. Thank you for being here. So a few questions for you. I know you mentioned that, you know, the budget, I'm not saying the budget or just the accounting of it is not your background. I get it. So you have your staff working on it. But the first question there, I know you're the head of education. We all love education. Can you help me understand what is the total allocation that was given this year and what was the allocation last year?
I think the difference last year there's an increment of around $7 million.
I did hear that, but what is it?
98 million plus is around 95 now, I think 95. So 98 plus 5 is 7, correct?
98 plus 5?
98 plus 7, 98 plus 7,
Oh, plus
105.
7.
Mm.
Okay,
It's
105.
105 now. Yeah,
105. So it's 105 now.
Yeah.
It's fair to say that. Okay. So, I mean, obviously, we know it's still not a huge amount for
No.
the situation we got in Liberia. So, as the head of that, of the chair of education, what is your suggestion when it comes to that?
Well, behave like I know everything. I'm the Minister of Education who runs the Ministry of Education. And the minister will come and see me. And when I meet the committee and bring their plan to us so we can discuss it. So I expect her to come and the coming week for her to discuss it. Because I need to know the plan of the minister to see how we can support her. I am not the one running the educational sector. I am only the guy or the committee, only the person in the Senate to help drive the policy that will help the Minister of Education to do a job, or all the members of education to do their job in a way that will benefit the Liberian people. So I'm working along with all the members in the sector. So I will have a detailed meeting with the minister. When I mean the committee, or we will have a detailed meeting with the minister. They come in with, because she has to bring a program and plan, see how that money going to affect her. But some of the areas that I have interest and people have cried over a period of time, I feel sorry that people work and they can't get paid. So if you get people teaching our children they can't get paid, it may lead to all sorts of things. It will lead to corruption. When I mean corruption, people be asking the children for money. Because how somebody will work for you, they don't have pay. And I mean, these volunteers, some of them are brilliant people. They've been demanding it. Almost the same thing in the health sector. When they're still working, they can't take pay. They will find means to survive. And so those are the kind of area personally, and the kind of thing, the school facility. People can sit down in good school. You go to school not just a building. It's a facility. The entire facility that makes up the building. The place children sit down, the condition of school, and all that kind of stuff. The school fees and everything people paying. Children paying exorbitant school fee when parents can afford. These are areas that I have concern. But other areas that the policy maker of the Minister of Education that we have, and she come and sit down with us, the committee will find a way to see how we can address it. We may not achieve everything in 1 year, because it's almost impossible to address the entire educational problem in 1 year, but we'll do our best. So I'm working with a team of people. So
yeah, I think it's a good step forward. If you're going to be looking at the budget and questioning the budget, then you need to speak to the key people involved, like the head of the ministry, to see what her area needs are and other different things. So when you're advocating, then you know where you're saying from, because you've met with them, you've seen the numbers, you've had the discussion. So I think it's
so
a good step forward.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm not just speaking off my head, pretending like I know everything. No, that's not correct.
No one person know everything, but we can seek to understand. So to the next question there, I'll make a point and then I'll ask my next question. I heard you say over and over that everybody want a piece of the pie, and the poor people need to eat and have their chance. Mr. Margie, I will tell you, in humility, I studied accounting in Zion before, and then I was in LA before I came to the US. Even here, my first degree has to do with accounting and finance. In addition to that, I work for the state of Texas doing auditing budgets, everything, as well as the state of Oklahoma. So I understand the whole budget and allocation. Government budget, regardless of whether America or Liberia, I'm not comparing it, is not a piece of the pie for everybody. It is not for that. It is not for everybody chop by chop. The way, yes, maybe you chop it in a way where you will take those funds, those tax dollars, and put into school, into roads, into tax breaks and other things. That's
The white man, when I say build road for
okay.
people,
Maybe that was a slip of a tongue, but the way it came across, it looked like it's a
no,
piece of
I'm
the
not saying
pie. So everybody needs to come to government to come get their own. Even in America, federal government is the highest employer, but it's not there for the piece of pie. If you're qualified to work, you put your resume, you get a job. It is not a piece of the pie thing the way we want to see in Liberia. It is not. Hopefully the budget is not seen that way. Government should not be the place where people can just go get jobs to feed their family. It's not a feeding family place. If you're qualified in this opening, yes, get your job. But we're not going to block the payroll just because people need to get $5 home to feed their family. I don't think it's wrong, and we shouldn't encourage that. So that's just my comment on that. And I'm glad you corrected that, but that's my comment on that.
I made let me just say something. I made a general statement that look, everybody need a piece of the pie. Even if put in the interior. My parents in the interior need a piece of the pie. Their piece of the pie will be building the road. That's why I said they don't want pay, but they want the road. They want a road fix the road. You know, send that children to school. That piece of the pie they want to get. Send that children to school. Help their children. Not like they want salary. They're talking about 4.5 million people. How are they going to benefit from the budget? They're going to benefit from the budget. Not to go get them money. They're not to go get them money, but go do things that will affect their lives. Open the road.
Totally agree, but the way it came across.
Maybe you didn't get me clear when I explained all of that. When I said let everybody get a piece of the pie. Build a road in the interior. Let people benefit from the road. Send our children to school. For them, that piece of the pie they're getting. It is impossible to say every Liberian will be on the payroll. That's impossible. But what you can do is I was saying you can build a road, go build the road. Everybody will benefit from the road.
No, fair enough. I agree.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I agree.
Get post salary for everybody on payroll. And like I said 80,000 points. And if you take 80,000 multiply effect to say one person to 10 people, that's 800,000. But almost 4.5 million people there, are they going to benefit from the budget? Send their children to school, build a road for them. For them, that's getting piece of the power of the budget. They benefit from the budget in that corner. That's why I was making out to say get everybody on payroll, because I know it's not possible to put everybody on payroll. That means I think we got to get maybe 10 billion. We got to get 10 billion in our budget to make sure we employ everybody. Not possible.
Now I get it. So my question actually was more of a correction. I'm glad we're on the same page when it comes to that. Sometimes just leaving things, open like that is subject to so many interpretations. So I'm glad you clarified that. My question there on the budget. So you've seen the budget. I know you guys have started discussing it. You mentioned about the move funds into deficit pool or whatever the terminology is. Have you had the chance to call the minister or sit down with him to find out why the funds were moved there? What are those funds? What the intentions are for those funds? What the interpretation of those funds?
No, I mean today was just the first hearing. My intention is when we get to the expenditure side, the ministers will be there. We'll be able to ask the minister to explain to us, because we want explanation. I mean, there's no explanation regarding that fund, and that fund came from compensation. Because the compensation before 2020, during 2023 was, I think, 314 million, and 8.7 million went to the NEC, the National Election Commission, and that was just one off. So the budget dropped to something around 3.4 million, something like that, 304 million. But now the 304 million, they reduced it by additional $8.7 million, and they took that $8.7 million from compensation and put it in deficit pool. So we're saying, but that money was affecting people. People were getting paid. And now you're taking the money from people's salary and putting it in deficit pool. So what happened to the people who were taking the pay? And someone will say,
does that suggest that if people are not being paid, if they move the money into the deficit pool, does that suggest that?
I mean, for me, that what indicate to me, because if the last government paid these people and everybody are getting compensation. Maybe you could say maybe one clean the payroll, but you want clean the payroll, it can be arbitrary. You will need time to do payroll check to see whether our goals need and all that stuff. But you can just take the money from them when the money was there for people. If the people that kind don't pay them, then you can save the money. But they take the money off from compensation and reduce compensation to 297 million, when it's will be 304. You got to provide an explanation and say why you did it. Because that money was going to people, but you're taking the money off. They don't receive the money. I just see,
Yeah, I
for
think
instance,
that's fair enough. I think moving funding around, that's expected in any budget allocation, but the interpretation, the justification for it, and that's all everybody needs to know. So I'll move on. Next.
I think that Julius.
Yeah, I think Julius.
Welcome, Senator McGill. Good to have you on here today. Do you believe in transparency?
I do.
Great. In that regards, you will agree with me then that government officials' salary should be public information. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What was your salary as the Minister of State?
My salary, my salary, my net salary around $5,500. Plus
Your
my
next,
gross salary. My gross salary.
your gross?
Yes, my gross salary.
Now let me give you the
Because
opportunity. Take me through again.
when we came for making around, when we came for making government salary will make around 10,000. We reduced it $7,000. For cabinet out of this year, we reduced 7,000. Then later on, our salary when they did the harmonization, our salary dropped. Our salary dropped around 5,000. I think 5,500.
And for the sake of clarity, I'm going to repeat this. You're claiming that your gross income, the salary that was given to you, was 5,500.
Before I left government, because that's why I saw on my payroll, on my deposit slip, when they sent my slip, when I paid me, gave me a check, they would send my money to the bank.
But you were
They send my
still
money to the
aware,
bank.
but you were aware, you're aware of your income because it was based on your income that you were either making investment in other things and
Right,
that. So,
man,
so
around
let me
5,000.
give you the opportunity to hopefully think it through again. What was it? What was the actual
Even
salary?
they were 5,500. Before I left, 5,500. When I bought $6,000, I don't think so.
It was
It was
never
somewhere
above.
between 5,000 6,000. I'll not be too exact because I'm not taking. I'm not, my salary was going straight to the bank, and when the bank, all the different taxes were cutting, I didn't. Minister of Finance, even right now, that one of the debate we're having a poor girl our statement because we want to know how many taxes they're cutting from all the stuff. Even right now, as a senator, my money just goes to the bank. My total income is around 10,000. When they cut all the money, it comes around 6,000 now. So I wonder what kind of deduction they're making from me.
So it would be fair to consider then that okay, since you're making 5,000 and now you upon your excellency to the Senate, we're assuming that you're making more because you claim that you're now making 10,000. Is that correct?
Yeah, making more. They cut all the 7,000. That 7,000 goes to the bank. Excluding that. Okay, my finance people telling me how much we're making right now because you got to cut gasoline and all that stuff. So, but it'll be around 10,000 because at the end of the day, Senate debated that the whole package is around 10,000 with the including kind of other thing, everything around 10,000. So the Senate one is a public record. So with the very important insertion around 10,000, we even declare it on our other declaration. So
Great.
I will put a 10,000 there. Yeah.
I'm
On
glad
the
that you
other
went.
declaration.
I'm glad you went in that direction. Seems like you kind of preempt the direction I was going with with this question here, and I'm glad you actually stepping in that direction. But here's my thing, and I hope that you would not direct me to the LECC to obtain your asset declaration because as a man who believes in transparency and you also understand that this government, I listened to you earlier and you emphasize on the fact that they are not being transparent, they are doing things that is not in your best interest, especially when it represents the people. Have you declared your asset? And if so, if you have declared your asset, where is that information available for the general
But
public?
no, but you see, I'm answering the LSCC. LSCC is a public institution.
Oh,
So
it's
my
okay.
assets are
It's okay.
public.
Okay, let's forget about the direct.
My
Okay.
Let's
asset, listen, my
Let
assets
me,
are public record.
wait, let the senator explain. You asking a
No, my
question.
assets are public record. It's before the LSCC. When I declare my asset was live on Spoon. I had a media there, presented my asset, declared as a public record. And I told LSCC, anytime you want to come do verification, I'm accessible and willing, you know where to get me. These are my assets. I declared that. And let what LSCC say what they want to do. The part law is I'm going to do. So I done what I'm supposed to do. I
okay.
declare my assets. So LSCC is a public place. They know my asset. They see it every day. They give me receipt for it. So then I can't do more than that.
Okay. Well, Mr. McGill, considering that you and I know the society we find ourselves in after 6 years of you serving in government, the ability to have access to this information is not like the Western word. And you actually admitted here today that almost what, maybe about 50% of our population is unemployed. How many of those people can honestly obtain information in such a way, especially for those that are in very area? You will agree with me that it will wouldn't be fair and much more logical if a man of transparency would simply just disclose that information instead of having to put people through
No,
the
but
rigmarole. Would you mind if I
you
conclude? Do you mind if I
okay, go
conclude?
ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You will agree with me that it would be fair to the public if you were to just simply make that information easily accessible than to have our people have to go through the rigmarole to obtain information that you believe, in order to be transparent, should be made public in any way. Nevertheless, we'll move forward. My next question here, Senator Miguel, you were accused, okay, you were sanctioned, and in that process, you also made a claim that you did nothing wrong. What have you done to have yourself vindicated from all of the allegations against you? Why you served in government prior to your suspension and even up to current? What are you doing to have yourself vindicated so that we can understand that you may have been accused wrongly?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer the question.
You don't know?
I don't
Okay,
know how to
that's
answer.
okay.
I don't know how to answer. Because the question is, why doing I working in the Senate? I said, I don't let it discuss the sanction issue. For me, the sanction issue, every Librarian know that on sanction. Librarian put over there for me. So I don't love to discuss the sanction issue because the fact the records are there. Librarian will see my trial record. They will know me, who voted for me, know who I am. They see my daily life every day. So I'm living the same common life I'm living. People know. So I don't let it go in the sanction issue because everybody know, everybody know. People knew they voted for me. So I don't let it go in that. The people who put sanction on me, they know what I'm doing to try to vindicate myself. The issue not between Librarian and myself. The issue between me and a foreign force and a foreign power. And that foreign power know exactly what I'm doing to try to exonerate myself because I can't explain to you what I'm doing.
Why not?
Because you will not help me. You will not help me. You will not help me. So the people who put the allegation on me that in our Labrador, in our Labrador government put the allegation on me, you see what I'm doing in Labrador to vindicate myself. But the people put the sanction on me, you can't help me. So why should I bother myself trying to explain to Labrador what I'm doing?
Considering the fact that I'm a taxpayer and you
They
work for
didn't
me,
move me for unsanctioned. They
considering that
didn't
I'm a
move me for
taxpayer and you
unsanctioned.
work for me, you don't think you should do that?
No, I can't tell you because now your government put a sanction on me.
No, well, you work for me, you
Okay.
agree, right? I'm a
You
taxpayer
say
and
you
you work
are
for me.
I say
I'm
you
a
say you
taxpayer and you
taxpayer
work
in
for me.
America. No,
Sorry?
I say
Okay.
in America because I don't work for American citizen. I work
No,
for
well,
Liberian people.
I'm saying you work for me as a Liberian. You work for me,
Yeah,
and I'm a taxpayer.
but I don't have client like bro. Then why should tell you? No client
Well,
here on me
you
like
work
bro.
for me, and it is alleged
My
that you are
answer to
section.
you
Don't you
is
think you should
my
make
answer
some
to you
clarity?
is that I don't have any client on me in Liberia.
Right.
Okay.
But
Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on from this. You
I
actually,
don't have client on me in Liberia. Only answer I can
you
give you.
let's move on
thank you.
from this. The the sanction is a Magnitsky sanction for the American government, and the senator keeps saying the Liberian government don't have a issue with the Liberian government. So I don't think issue or any explanation. So let's move on. Robert, come in.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be on. Great to be back, Senator. Eh, I think
We're
that
not hearing you. Breaking.
audible.
Yeah, I think.
Am I audible clearly? Can anyone hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, good.
Okay, I guess I have to hold it. Well, but welcome to the closing argument. I believe that this is my first time formally interacting with you. I won't discuss the sanction, but I want to ask you this question. I think that this is the first time, perhaps, that you. I want to give you the opportunity to give some clarity, if deemed fit. One of the biggest statements that you made that I had quarrel with was when you said, even if we were stealing, at least we are spending the money in Liberia. I thought that you, in that statement, implicated yourself and to the common mind, uh, um, impersonated yourself in many ways, right? I want you to clarify, what did you mean by even if we stole, at least we are spending the money in Liberia? Some might see that as a flimsy justification for an indirect admittance of corruption, and others, probably those who understood the context in which you spoke, would have a different interpretation. But I want to give you the opportunity to clarify. What did you mean by that statement?
Well, let me you see, like, the way you speak sometimes can lead you into problem, even if it mean well. So a lot of people say, "Why am I getting you spoke wrong?" And so you're in a problem. So the fact that I got in problem and people say I spoke wrong, so I don't want to get into a debate. Maybe I spoke wrongly, but that day I didn't even give money to somebody. Somebody was giving money. A young man was giving, whatever, a representative was giving 10,000 liberty to people who were doing selling palm wine. A major source of business was palm wine, and they guy was giving them 10,000. Well, I was trying to make people understand that every time people can make government people go make commitment post that government money. I say to them, not government money. They may just get work hard. He take it, find money and bring it to you people. Probably my presentation was not the way I should have presented it, and people say, "Well, you spoke wrong." But I was just trying to tell them that people don't steal money and come to you. But there are people who steal money and go out of the country. Other people work hard, and the guy did not get the full context of my speech. They cut it short. Because when I said that, I went ahead and said, "They man, nobody's stealing money. The money they man giving to you that hard work is giving it to you. So nobody must say we're stealing money. But the man who will get it radio, he didn't put that one there. So he cut my speech into half and brought that part there while I was trying to make an example and made it appear that I was just that was not the case. But the journalist really wanted to that very journalist reporting all kind of story about me and Joel, and he put that page and put it in the radio. So sometimes when you speak, people gotta see the full context or the method you want to deliver. But the full context and method was never delivered by the journalist. So he just cut it short and he put that one on there and played it. But that's not what I meant. I explained to the people that look, they may not stealing money. Other people can steal their money and go out of the country. Somebody go and wear hard and bring that money to you. Say, oh, that government money, post stealing government money. But at least they may giving you money to you. So the journalist called it, he did not get the full context of my speech. He gave only half of it, and half the people believe. And that's the story.
Thank you, and that's why I wanted to give you clarification, because from looking out in, that statement did not sit right with me, and to be quite honest, if I was your public relation advisor, I would have called you immediately the next day to probably make.
I actually corrected myself doing that. But the journalist did not care but the correction that I made. He was only interested in carry the portion he wanted to carry. So they're post speaking, they make mistakes, and they gotta come out and correct themselves. Even in America, you see happy, but you're talking for so long, so now you made a mistake, and you gotta try to clarify the mistake that you made. At the end of the day, but the majority not bringing the clarification that I made. You wouldn't carry this how you wanted to carry it, and the public will listen to. I couldn't be going around trying to defend myself. And when it happened, it didn't stay 3 days. It didn't even stay 4 days. I got on sanction.
So to that
So I,
point, which is the reason why in my premise, I believe that until this is in court and the facts are presented, I think that perhaps that probably had a part, a role to play in the sanction. But here's what I will say with regards to the sanction. Before I ask the last question, is a very short answer to that. I believe that every single Liberian, I don't condone corruption. I think it's a disease in our society. And so I believe that the Liberian government should take the lead with regards to fighting corruption and holding public officials accountable. But I also believe that the interference of foreign nations with regards to these sanctions are as a result of the Liberian government failure to actually act and seek the people's interests. But I also believe that you and others who have been accused should have your day in court to present the facts and to either be held accountable based on the facts presented or to be vindicated or exonerated. Here was my last question to you. Uh, there have been this budget. We've talked about the budget, and we talked about the fact that this budget is a big disappointment. The Senate, the representative, Mr. Ability was on the last time, and something really shocked me when he spoke about the fact that the University of Nima budget of $1.8 million was cut $300,000. They're not getting 1.5 million. And I don't want you to speak from a partisan perspective, but do you think that the Unity Party budget and the Unity Party government is playing deeply into the CDC playbook here? And if so, do you think that they represent the change that they campaign on?
well, definitely stage, my brother, some of the things you be doing, and it's not partisan. It's just from the reality. So you people don't understand. I can't understand. They made a lot of promises they're going against. Most of the things they said they're not doing it. They're talking about asset retrieval, which is good. They're talking about they want to lay off 40,000 civil servants, which is bad. They promised they were going to increase civil servant salary because they say we harmonize. They're going to de-harmonize the salary. They've not done that. They said they're going to employ voluntary nurses. They have not done that. They promised they're going to bring involuntary teachers on the payroll. They haven't done that. The only thing I see, they make a big publicity on the budget. I wish I had a video to send to you and the publicity they play. So, okay, let me see what I can find it. I don't. I said they call president salary. They call president salary. They call salary for vice president. They call it legislative salary. All that thing at 419. At 419, they take the money and put it on a mutual fund. The prime mutual budget increased by 68%. The mutual fund budget was 102 million. They increased the budget now to 173 million, almost 8%. So they put almost $70 million on a mutual fund. Why they cutting money from all the small money entities there? And there's no explanation. The issue of domestic debt, no details. So they're saying we asking all the questions. So I don't think, honestly speaking, putting policy aside, I don't think given the last 2 months they've done sufficiently well to convince the people that what they wanted to do, they would do it. Probably they would change. I don't know. going forward, maybe they'll make some correction. I don't know, but from my personal observation, they haven't done well. They haven't really done well. There's more
But let me,
confusion. They themselves say,
Kevin, you don't mind, 1 second,
say
please.
there's no
Okay,
confusion
Kevin,
in the minor.
we have.
I know. I
Robert,
just want to ask him why he answered that. Just want to say this.
yeah,
But
we have
they
Ben
also
and
said,
the
just
in here.
Just 30
So
seconds. Just 30 seconds, please. They also said that, to your point, they also said that they cut legislative budget by $30-something million. So you are in the legislature. Is it true? And if so, where is that money going? I mean, I think that's a question you guys should be pandering.
I want to tell you. Let me tell you something. For instance, they took out $2.8 million from salary. $2.8 million from salary. That people money they're taking. $2.8 million from salary. They call it later budget, but there's no justification according to the budget. They just call budget all around the place. They take the money and they put most of the money on the finance ministry. and throw money all around the area. They can't justify why they call the budget. So I can't understand the rationale according to the budget. But you increase finance ministry budget by 68%. You're taking money from civil service and put it on the finance ministry. You can't even explain. For instance, the domestic debt payment on 2003 was around 27 million. They increased it by 42 million. They increased it by 42 million. Nobody knows whether 42 million, who they're going to pay. So they take the money, so let's go pay domestic debt people. Who are going to pay? We are giving them money to. We don't know. We say give it the full detail, they can't give it to us. The last budget 2023, 27 million. On 2024, it's $69 million. $69 million. So the money they're getting from us, like they're carrying it to domestic debt people. So we don't know who they're going to pay. So we add them and bring to us, we are giving money to, we don't know.
okay. Let me welcome Chairman and Ben Sanvee, the two Liberty Party amigos. So let me welcome them to close the argument. So by seniority right now, I think I will have to go to the chairman, Musa Ability. Musa.
Hey, well, good evening to everybody. Follow, what's up? Tevi, what's up?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, good evening to the crew. I think interesting topic. A lot of issues on the budget. I think I've made my point on the budget. The budget is a disgrace. It is pure nonsense, and it does not take into consideration the enormity of the problem of this country. But I've been doing some work on the budget, and also I'm very happy to hear the LRA board say that he is able to raise 1 billion. And for me, he immediately stands out to me. I mean, he has challenged himself. What the guys did with the budget, no consultation, they spoke to nobody. Not a single ministry was spoken to. Everybody was just told this is what's going to you. You will hear it in the budget hearing. I, as chairman on national security, I have spoken to every security head in this country. None of them, and that is from the Minister of Justice down. None of them were consulted on the budget. But I'm happy that the LRA says so. And then, and reading through the budget, we can help him to achieve that. Do you know that we're actually as poor as we are? Do you know that we are donors to the companies that are investing in our country? Do you know that? Do you know that there is not a single company in Liberia that gives Liberia more than Liberia gave them? This is from Firestone down. If you check how much every one of these companies receiving from us in duty-free and incentive, it's almost 10 times more than what they give to us at the end of the day. I mean, believe me, this has nothing to do with Joseph Walker government. From Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to George Weah and now Joseph Walker, it is a disgrace. You gave a meter steel. Meter steel gives you around $15, $20 million every year. They consume 1 million gallons a month. They duty-free on 1 million gallons a month is more than 500,000 United States dollars. Are you guys listening to me?
Yeah.
That's how much we're giving them. Go to every concession. What this country is giving in this poor, wretched country, what they are taking from Liberia, it does not even amount to even 10% of what they gave to us. But we got news for them. As I speak to you, I'm already preparing a legislation which will be called the concession, the Act to Regulate Concession, which means no company will get nothing more than 25% of what they give us, whether they're in royalty or whatever. What Liberia benefit from you? If Liberia benefiting $1 million from you, your duty free for that year will not be more than 250,000. The people are exploiting our country. And all these so-called international partners, they see it, they know it. They are looking, you're looking for corruption? That's corruption. That's stealing, daylight robbery. All these big companies, we are giving them massive duty-free. You ask them, what we getting in return. So hopefully, I look forward to hearing from the LRA boss and whatever they
So Musa, are you talking about the Asala meter? Are you talking about the Firestone?
I say everybody. I didn't leave none out. There is no company in Liberia here that does not take more from Liberia than Liberia gets it. Nothing. None of them. It is disgraceful. Our country is being robbed. We'll stop it. Nothing will make us to stop it. Anything they want to do, somehow they want to kill us, let them kill us. Our people will continue after us. But this 6 years that we have, whatever this country has to go through to change it, we'll change it by force. So all these things that people are doing, this budget is a disgrace. The Ministry of Finance has literally taken charge of the executive management expenditure. The only mistake they made, they did not take into consideration the caliber of individual in the legislature. I think that was their misstep. How they could imagine people like Nathaniel McGill or Amara Kone, who else name I can call? I'm not even going to call my own name. But all these people who know the working of government, how they could just decide that they just come write the kind of budget and pass with it like that. I don't know. The
So
budget
you
has no
saying, Musa,
ambition.
before we get to Ben to come here and ask both and Senator McGill and you question, are you saying that they cut from the Minister of State, they pass it on to the Finance Ministry, they hide it there in a sense that in order to kind of show the public some kind of uptake to say,
Chief,
cut our budget, but they send it.
You are listening to Senator McGill. He talk about Senator. What is that? Say the
Deficit what?
deficit what?
Deficit proof on.
Do you know what that means? It means that we will mess up, and this is the money that we will use to correct the mess. Are you kidding me? That somebody is preparing to work and say, okay, my work will get messed up, but let me prepare for it. Really?
So it's
And
like
then you go
contingency
and press
funding.
it. Eh?
They also have
Contingency
contingency.
funding.
They have contingency. They have contingency separate and they have development pool fund separate.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Let's see. In the country like this, where children are not going to school, where there are no benches for children to sit in, where teachers are not being paid, then you pick $8 million and say, I am going to fund my inefficiency. That's what it means. That is the meaning of deficit pool. And guys, you all know what deficit is. And for the benefit of the listening pool, deficit means you plan to spend certain money, you reach somewhere, the money not reach. So you now you got to buy the rest of the thing, but you didn't get money. Your money short. So they put the 8 million. So even if there's no deficit, don't you think that they will create deficit?
wow.
Because they got the money to fund it, and then we are crazy to accept it. That money, $5 will not leave in that deficit pool. $5.
Ben.
Don't bother the thing that we are joking.
Oh my God.
You think some of us became representative? Look, we have people that pray for us, that are looking up to us to change this country, and we'll not let them down. And this budget is not ambitious, and that's my disappointment. This is the CDC budget. And Liberia is treading a very dangerous trend. We are literally moving from CDC to UP, CDC, UP, and anything that UP doing today, CDC criticizes it. And CDC was UP was the NCDC did it. And my people, where we going with the other story? And you go to NCDC did it one. You go to, it's funny, but it's dangerous. Maybe we need a care force. Maybe we need a new Liberia now. We tired with the whole CDC and United Party story. United Party, 12 years, and then 6 years in waiting, and you come back. The man you move from there. Anything somebody tells you, you say, enemy did it. Yeah.
And why you keep it for?
Exactly.
For Ben,
Let Ben come in, please.
I just wanted to ask Mr. Benedict something quick.
Yeah, the last time he didn't ask me, so yeah.
I heard him blaming on the companies that are coming to Liberia and getting more than the Liberians, and he was saying, "Oh, the people taking away from us." But do you think who's responsible for the people taking away from us is Liberians? So I saw that you say that Liberians are selfish sort of people to one another. They will destroy you, their own person, then they will destroy somebody else. So we are responsible for these things happening. And thank God that you guys are in the Senate now. So we'll see if they can do something different. But the Liberians are their own problem. I just want to be clear on that.
My sister, Grace, look, sometimes I like to blame Liberia. On this note, I will not. They sanction McGill, right? Right? For a crime that, as far as I know, I've not seen it yet. I've not seen any evidence of. But what happened?
Did they go to court? Did the case go to court? Judge, we are sat there and never made them to go to court to clarify their names. So let's be clear here.
No, but
we are favor McGill. That's the reason
okay.
why the case left now to clarify his
No. That different. I'm just using it as an example because that's a complete different argument altogether. But they did that. Everywhere they're talking about corruption in this country. Have you heard them talk about this? I mean, let's leave Liberia for once because we spend too much time knocking on ourselves. These very international community, embassies all over here, have you heard them talk about the tax that the government gives Firestone is more than the money Firestone gave Liberia? Have you heard them talk about the tax that we spend on Metasty is more than the money Metasty? Have you heard them talk about that?
But why would they talk about that? Why would I want somebody
So
else
why would they?
talk
So
about
so if they're not talking about that,
they're supposed to talk
if
about
they're
Nigerian own well-being?
so it better let them leave us and let's solve our problem. But it's not cherry pick the problem to deal with. That's the only point I'm trying to make. Okay? If you want to talk about corruption, be holistic. I'm happy that they're talking about corruption, and it's a good thing that they're talking about it. But when it comes to companies that they have funny relationship with, they can talk about it. But yes, to answer your question, that was the concession, and that concession was authorized by the government of Liberia, and therefore the ultimate responsibility lies on the government and the people who are representing government. And we are here to change it, and we'll change it one by one. We'll change it. All these concessions will change the rules.
Until you can take accountability,
No concession will stay the way it is.
Then you can change it. At this point in time, you cannot bring an outsider to take care of your own problem. You have to take care of our own problem. And stop the people from getting from us instead of us getting from them.
Grace, I would never sit, and let me put myself on record. I would never sit with any outsider to try to solve Liberia problem. You want? I'll tell you that right now. We know how to solve our problem. The problem Liberia has, as far as government is concerned, is the legislature. All of the power of the authority of government in Liberia is in the legislature. And our job is to make sure that this legislature will be different on every issue. On every issue will be different.
So my question is, I was gonna bring up something about the concessions, but you've talked about it a lot, because I saw Lakshmi Mittal today, standing next to the president. Literally the two of them were having a romantic session. Like Joe Boyka was not vice president, and he didn't sign the Mittal Steel concession. And the two of them were having a romantic experience. I mean, the only thing they didn't do was to kiss each other. That's the only thing they didn't do today in front of that office. I'm being serious. And I'm looking at these two men, and I'm like, but again, like I always like to say, I was talking to one of my friends today. I said, we love the optics of the job, right? We let us see the president come out, wear his nice suit, he stand behind the flag, he talk the foolishness, they talk all the craziness they want to talk, they go right behind the office, because that's exactly what happened. They went right behind the office, then they talk the real thing that they wanted to talk, right? They talk the real thing they want to talk. That part we don't get to hear, but what will happen is the roads will not be built, the schools will not be constructed. What I can assure you will guarantee what will happen for sure is that the iron ore will go. Everything that they came for, they will get. And in the end, when they leave the country,
order. They will not get everything that they came for. They will not get. That man, let me explain to you. That man is in my country, and those people have not performed well. And our people are languishing in poverty and degradation.
So, Musa, that's my point.
Last week can come to and go to the mansion. The authority is not in the mansion to renew that contract. It's in the capital building.
So you see, Musa, that's my point right there, because that's exactly
no, but don't say I don't agree with you. Don't say that they will get away. They will not get away.
Well, but let me say that, Chief. Let me say this. But let me tell you why. And I'm cautiously optimistic. Let me put it that way. Cautiously optimistic, because I know you won't vote. I know the thing McGill talking, he won't vote. In fact, the information I received today, all I think McGill talking and you and McGill talking are hearing the person they planning to pass the budget by the 18th. So that
what
thing
budget?
You're doing,
what budget?
what budget? You see, I'm not a member of the hustle.
I don't remember what they said it though. I'm just telling you, I say the gossip I'm
Outrageous.
hearing is that the target, and this is coming from the executive though, and I don't know the legislature, the target, the executive said they are targeting that this budget will be passed by the 18th. That is their target. By the
But Ben,
18th or so, they will be able to knock this thing out. So
but
I'm
Ben,
waiting to see how you guys will go about doing all of the things that you guys are talking about. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic because I know how it can end up sometime, right? My only question to both of you and Senator McGill, Representability and Senator McGill, the portion, this Ministry of Finance budget that everybody's talking about, the issue of the debt pay, the whatever the domestic debt payment that everybody's talking about. Have they provided? And I'm sorry, maybe because I wasn't listening earlier. If you're addressing, then you can skip it. Then we can go to somebody else. But have they provided any listing of the domestic debt? Because I remember this was one of the things that Senator Dillon was crying about in the past. I mean, in the past session. I haven't heard him. In fact, I texted him today to ask him, do you now have the debt,
Ben,
the debt list? Because you now are part of the ruling party that have access to the Ministry of Finance records now. So you should be able to call the Minister of Finance and say, please give me that debt, that list of those domestic debt. Both of y'all, have any of you guys seen the domestic debt list?
The answer is no, Ben. They haven't. They haven't given a list. You know, Ben, why is it more important for that list to be given? Is that the domestic debt has increased by 42 million compared to last year budget. Now you're talking about 69 million like domestic debt. When you see them cutting money from, people say the lawmakers, I'll just give you an example. I'll say to someone, if you see them cutting money from all over the increasing domestic debt payment, and you don't know the basis for the payment, you got to be concerned or worried. And also, I think from the PAC committee and most of the thing what we are discussing is that, look, if we don't have full detail of this payment, we're not going to allow it to pass. I agree with you. The rumor you are getting, that rumor is completely correct. They want to force the budget to pass by the 18th.
I'm telling you.
I don't see how the budget can pass. Look, just today, the entire finance ministry and the government side were completely confused. On the revenue side, they lost 14 million. How they lost it, how they going to recover that? They said they're going to come back. You know, I was just disappointed. I left a hearing. I said, Matt, that's an honorable Blade is saying. I mean, my colleague, some of my Senate colleagues were sitting inside me and said, McGill, this is a complete mess. It's not possible for the party budget in 1 month. But apparently, they're going to find a way to try to force the budget to go through. If we are not strong as a bloc to make sure that doesn't happen, they will get it through. But I agree with Belity. If we're really strong, we get a majority. We can stop it from happening. But I think the budget is extremely bad budget.
Well, look, the way I see it, the Senate and the representative, you know those guys in the Senate, they just look like a bunch of tired people. They just there romanticizing.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you, Honorable.
Yeah. Senator, I don't like to criticize y'all, but so far y'all have been very very. Let me reserve my description. But at the end of the day, you people are proving to be more or less regime collaborator. But in the House of Representatives, we don't cooperate that way. The budget will be a reflection of what LeBron put in. If anybody think that will pass budget, maybe they're in different household, but not in the House of Representatives. For nothing, Kobase can't even try it. That budget will not come from us.
You gotta come from full party. But anyway, that joint committee. So
yeah, but even that joint committee thing, that joint committee thing, that job for hearing purposes.
Yeah, but you don't pass the budget. If the House doesn't pass the budget, the Senate will not pass it. So the longer
I'm not threatening the budget, but the issues in the budget will have to be resolved And
I
nobody
totally
to think
agree.
that.
I totally agree with
Nobody
you.
to
I
think
totally
that they will
agree with
come
you.
and bulldoze us. What
I
needs to
totally agree
happen?
with you.
What needs to happen is that if there are issues that they cannot deal with, they should be open about it, and then we find a solution. This, for me, for a government, it's fair, and I know many of you disagree with me. It's fair to give a new government some time. Okay? The problem I got with the Unity Party folks is that they pretend to know everything. And then they think that the rest of the people are just a bunch of ignoramus. And so they treat people in that way, and that bothers me. Otherwise, your first year, bring something moderate, advance yourself, sit with us in the leadership meeting, and say, gentlemen, we need to move forward. This budget will not be muzzled into passage. If they will be using 110 until it finish, that's fine. That will go on their record. But for us to use this budget, it has to be redefined. The money that have been, you took 29 million. My people, you're listening to this. You saved $29 million from this legislature. You can't tell why they were here. I mean,
No,
I'm happy, and the thing I'm proud of the legislature for, the legislature never argue it. They never say, if you not pour our money back, we'll make flour. Nobody argue. We say fine. But where you going? What did they go for? You increase domestic budget, domestic debt by almost 100%. What are the line items that you are going to finance? I mean, you are going to pay. And there's a law on the ground that government of Liberia should not do business with any company that is not 25% Liberian interest. Those laws have to be enforced. The budget is the single most important instrument of governance. The United Party had 2 months that the Constitution gave them to put a budget together, November, December, and January. After that, they took another 2 months. My people, I was one of the people who said, and I still stand by that when CDC won the election, they were not prepared. They never thought they were going to win. But a government, people who have been in government before, and you come and you present budget almost 4 months late, and the budget is distorted, no consultation, nothing. And we are just sitting down here every day talking about budget, the budget has not gone nowhere. Nobody should lie to you. And we're going to want, tomorrow we warn our colleague. Because what Maggie is talking, we already hearing. Anyway, let me reserve my comment.
Mr.
Well,
Benefit,
Wait,
what are we
wait,
going to do now?
Grace,
thank you
Grace,
for your
Grace, we
confirming the
have the
rumor.
time. Grace, there's we're running out of time because our guys in studio in Liberia is getting late. Running out of time. I want to squeeze in the war crime code because we're hearing that the Senate going to debate it tomorrow, and Senator McGill here. So I know we talk about the budget. The budget is in your hands now, the lawmakers. But I want to squeeze in the war crime code. Senator McGill, what happening tomorrow at the Senate? What happened? According to Yomli Kanga page right now, tomorrow sound like a day. What happening tomorrow?
So I need at least some of the suspense so you guys can be eager to go there and listen to see what will happen. But the war crime code debate has become a national issue. Are you aware that the House of Representatives took a decision to some resolution giving their consent? This resolution is a resolution of consent. It does not establish the code by itself. By passing the resolution, it doesn't mean the code is established tomorrow. What a resolution does is like saying, look, we the lawmakers representing the people of Liberia agree for the code to be established. Now, there are a lot of procedures after that has to happen. But that concern has to come out and say, and we'll send it to the president, we'll send it to the president. It came to all, we made some modification. Some modification has been done and been reviewed. Tomorrow will be debated and will be passed upon. And once we pass it, it will go back to the House of Representatives for all to agree on it because of the modification. And so when that modification is done, we'll send it to the president for the president to act on the resolution. So basically, that will be happening tomorrow. But I can tell you there's a lot of enthusiasm in terms of like when you read the pro tem comment on her Facebook page that the Senate think there should be no impunity. People who commit a crime in this country should be held to account, whether economic crime or war crimes. And so we'll see what comes out tomorrow. But there are a lot of senators who believe that they're going from the pro tem page that there should be no impunity and people should be accountable for their actions. So tomorrow will be the final day, and we'll pass on the resolution and we'll send it back to the other representative.
So, are you saying the resolution will be passed tomorrow?
I mean, speaking for myself, I'm very optimistic that we'll pass tomorrow. Okay. But you guys got to be there. So I don't want to speak for all the senators. I just want to speak for myself because for now I want to speak for myself, but I think we'll pass tomorrow.
There welcomes Tomalin George on the show. So Tomalin, welcome on the show. Peabody.
Thank you.
Yes, both Senator and Chairman Ability, I just wanted to pick it back to the decision that were made in the Supreme Court, to decision that were made regarding the gracious, what do you call it, gracious transport and all of that.
No, but Peabody, I want let's exhaust this war crime thing. Let's look around.
But it's already answered, Kev. I mean, they're already going to make a decision tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a question on
I
that?
really don't. No, not
okay.
I'll pass.
Okay.
I'll pass.
Well, maybe other people have. I mean,
yeah. You know, the Musa is here. The lawmaker, he can answer that question, even though my girl comes. So, Grace, you can.
No, the Senate people don't. They don't want to do
It's true that
you see, Musa, that's why I wanted to next topic and kept bringing it back.
Musa, it is true that said when they were passing it, they say you get up, you went to the bathroom and say, "Look, I'm not here," or "I went to the bathroom." Is this true?
Yeah, I'm not like that. I look, my position on the war crime is, in fact, I'm writing it now because I think I've said it to white people don't understand it. I support the war crime. I think that people who were killed, during the crisis, and those who killed must account for it. There are some issues that I have, it's in my head, and I think what is happening, President Bouaga is just kicking this kick can down the road. Liberia we ratify the Geneva and the Rome Convention as a country, which means when people go into war and they commit war crime, one of those codes can try them. You don't need nothing. The legislature clear it. Today, the president of Liberia can request the United Nations to establish a war crime code. He doesn't need nothing, because Liberia is a signatory to the convention that established the war crime and crime against humanity. Simple. And I believe that's how it should be. The legislature of the Republic of Liberia has no authority to establish any code that will be higher than the Supreme Court. To do that, you have to change the Constitution of Liberia. And it would be very frustrating to those who want justice for us to do something that will get stuck into legal argument. And therefore, a resolution to pass, I think Senator Maggie put it very rightly, a resolution to pass, a resolution by both houses for the establishment of war crime is a declaration of intent. The president of Liberia can use that also to say, this is what the people want. The United Nations open a court for us. But if you have to open a court under Liberian law and established by the legislature, that court will be limited. That means you go to that court, they find you guilty, you can go to the Supreme Court. That means, because the Constitution of Liberia said no court shall have authority over the Supreme Court. So my concern, therefore, is kicking the can down the line. It is annoying. It makes people who try to bring sense to the issue to look like they are against war crime, and then it make it appear like there are some people who are for it and there are some people who are against it. I'm not against it, but pressure will not make me to do things that don't make sense to me. President Bwaka can request the United Nations today. You don't need nothing. We are part of the Geneva Convention. We are part of the Rome Convention. Those conventions were ratified by the legislature. And guess what? The Constitution of Liberia says when we ratify international convention, we are bounded by it. So he will be within his right as president of Liberia. And the Constitution gave him the right to direct the foreign policy of the country. So as far as the war crime code is concerned, I'm hoping that what they are doing now, the Senate passed, it looks like it's coming back to the House. Clearly, there is sufficient vote there to pass it. That should lead to action by the president, not for the legislature to establish a code. That code will not go nowhere under our current jurisprudence. And the way to do it, they will go around. The way to do it is for President Bwaka to write the United Nations to say the war took place in our country, the violation of human rights, the people went above board, so therefore we're invoking this convention or that convention. We want you to help us to establish it under the authority of the United Nations. That means that code is not under Liberia authority. But a legislator cannot open a code outside of its own authority. So that's my view on the war crime code. But people take that to say, oh, why are we against war crime code? You know what I lost in this war? For many people who don't even know, I lost my mother on September 10th, same day Samuel Doe died. You know, people, you don't understand. I lost my brother to this war. So it means everything for justice to come. What I don't want, that if you got amnesty laws that have been passed, it's on the book. You get things like the constitutional impediment. To attempt to look at all of these things that can be challenged and still want to open a court in this process, in my mind, is an attempt to say they don't want to work on court. Because by the time you open that court, by law, somebody will go and challenge the authority of the court. Who they will go to? The Supreme Court. And the court will respond to the Supreme Court to say, I got more power than you. You think the Supreme Court will say yes to that? No. And then where we're going. Then it comes to public disobedience. Then it comes to all of these things. So, my people, the pressure, whatever, so we're going to do something about that. Not us, not me. I'm not afraid, but I'm not going to be signatory to something that I don't believe has any impact. That's just
So
my
you
reason.
don't support the World Economic Crime Court then?
I do. If everything
Well,
I've
you
explained,
have all this. You have all
Grace,
this.
if everything I've explained, if that's what you heard,
No, I
then
understand what you're saying, but the thing is that you looking way ahead of you, and you're not looking right in front of you right now. The people want signatures to pass the World Economic Crime Court. What happened in the future? It will happen in the
so
future.
I
So
want
why
to
are you so
ask,
concerned about
is
where in
that
the future when the international community will actually be able to support and fund this World Economic Crime Court? You're saying that,
but
you're
the
not going to take
international community, is that what the international community told you? The international community didn't tell you, say they need the legislative approval. The international community has been waiting from January 7th to the Baga took office. And I know about that. For you to write one letter to the United Nations. That's what they've been waiting for.
Yeah,
One communication to the United Nations. And that's all he needs to do.
So I think
let's go around. Let's go around. Okay,
Okay,
Grace.
Salvi, you have
I'm
question.
going. Okay, let's go around. Let's do it one.
Let me just.
Like, I mean, deactivate
Let's do it 1 minute because 1 minute because the time going. I got 15. It's in Tomalin, George. So Grace, ask.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just made a statement to him that if you want to support something, you either be on it or not.
So you don't have a question.
You can't be in the middle.
So you don't have a question.
I have a statement. I don't have a question, but I have a statement. So I will use it as you either be for or you against. The power you worry about the gray area will come. You either be for or against. The World Economic Crime Court is important to Liberia to hold people accountable for war and economic crimes. So
I don't disagree with you.
That'd be good that most people in the legislature now will be able to support this World Economic Crimes Court to bring closure to our people and also to give justice. As you lost your mother, people lost their family members. Some people don't have families anymore because of this war. So I don't know why you just looking at the other side. If you either for or against. So,
but gray, are you telling me that I should not look at the gray area?
You worry about what will happen in the future instead of you worry about how the information will pass right now. And I want you to worry about how it's
great.
So we can have
Grace,
it.
walk me through maybe you can help me to change my mind. Walk me through the process right now. When the legislature passes this code, what next? What is the significance of it?
Once they have the willpower and it passes, the court will be established.
It will pass. I can tell you that it will pass. Tomorrow they will pass it. And they will bring it back to the legislature. I mean the representative. The representative will pass it. So what will happen?
Then the court will be established, and then we start.
But I want you to go through by what process the court will be established, because maybe that will help me.
I don't know the process. My thing is that the court has to be established in Liberia. They have people.
Okay. Let's move to the.
But how is it established?
Musa is right. Even if they pass it, if the president don't sign it, no code. The president got to sign it. Musa is correct. He's 100% correct.
But Grace, I made a point. I said the legislature, this resolution is only going to be a statement of intent. The only thing that needs to happen will still have to be done by the president. That is to write the United Nations to establish a court. The president does not need the resolution to do that. He has that power where he's sitting now right now. That's the point I'm making.
But if he wants the resolution, I mean, maybe he wants to follow.
So let me say it again. United Party people are very smart people. Let the president say it that I cannot act without legislature. Why is he not saying it? Because he knows that he cannot say that.
Okay, Tevi,
I'm just asking you
Tevi,
to do
come
your
in.
part. You need to
Tevi,
serve.
come in. Grace,
So,
Grace,
so
Grace, I beg you, man. The time.
Okay.
Tevi,
I
So
come
what
in.
we're
don't,
talking,
I really don't have much on this whole war crime code. I mean, absolutely, we're following. If you ask me personally, and I agree to you, Musa, it has to come from the top, and it's clearly stated in the recommendation. It has to come from the president for it to go forth. But if somebody asked me personally, I think this whole thing is all grandstanding. It's just people trying to put something on their, I would say, resume for 2029. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but we're following. We're following. That's all I can say. We're following.
that's it. And all of you that are on this network tonight, give me. I'm telling you that this week, the legislator will do its part. You'll be right here. Nothing else will happen. There's no seriousness. But the good news is, from the House of Representatives, you have what they call a super majority to pass it. So the senator will pass it tomorrow. Thursday, the House will pass it. Watch.
And we
What
will
will
be do
happen?
your part and sign because that's the right thing to do, sir. Do your part, sir.
But Grace, you see,
Look
I'm not the House of Representatives. I'm saying to you, the House of Representatives will sign it. I wish the House
Are
of
you going to
Representatives.
put your signature on there so history can remember you, Chief? Are you going to put your signature on that paper? Although it will pass, are you going
You
to put your
know,
signature on it?
Mother, I was reading something today from. I was reading something
That's the only
today
way. Yeah.
from Jonathan Pelele. Jonathan Pelele. And because we say the crown should start from 1979, and Jonathan Pelele, and they don't blame you, but he will blame me. He said, Nima Kande lawmaker who will refuse to sign the war crime code. I mean, they supporting the fact that their parents were killed and massacred at Lutheran Church. So what is justice for those people? That was just one Nima man no opinion now. But what I'm saying, I know your personal opinion. You and I have spoken about it. I know where you stand on some of the issues, and I respect that. And I wouldn't tell the people how you will vote because I already know some of the things you have, your personal opinion, and what you really think. But the point I'm
But the
just
House
making is that
finished passing on the thing already.
the House
It's
already
the House
passed on
back.
it. The House not going to pass on it. We just send it back to them because we made correction. That's the procedure. We made some modifications so they just look at it. But I even believe that they will pass it soon tomorrow, and we'll send it to them. My understanding is they'll pass it this evening.
Oh, the house has been ready for day one.
Yeah, the House is very proactive. They're not like,
Yeah.
oh. But
Thank you
anyway,
for
let me
admitting that.
So
Thank you for
let me
admitting that.
I need to have another call, which is very important. I didn't want to just be on. We're all telling you, so I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. Maybe next time we'll talk. So please allow me to go have the other discussion.
Yeah, I'll save my question for next time because I have some budget questions for you, Mr. Michael. But I will hold
Next,
it.
next time, no,
I will hold
Musa,
it.
Let Musa help me with the budget issue. Musa
Okay,
help me with the
for
budget.
you. For you.
No,
Okay.
she said it was for you.
Next time. Bye.
All right, but let's go to what happened today. The story of
are we
Yekef
done with the
Koba.
war crime scored
Yeah,
question?
but
Or
yeah,
No,
you
I
supposed
think
to
the other guys want to talk about the work
yeah,
code, Kev.
you supposed to come email go to Tomalin Judge from Lofak.
Okay.
Lofak. That is just one minute because I'm looking at the time. We read it.
well, then let's I mean, let's go to the other topic.
Okay.
No,
If
let
that,
her
I mean,
come
if
in.
it's
Look, it's
Tomalin
very
Judge.
deep on this whole war crime code.
Yeah,
Advocate
yeah.
thing. Let him come in.
Yeah, go.
well, I mean, of course, and like I said, I do I do support Grace's position here, and I think Grace, as it is stated, I know Representative Ability is kind of pushing the ball out of his domain so that he's not held liable for anything because he doesn't want to affix his signature to any of this document. But as he rightfully said, Representative Ability clearly stated that this is a resolution. If it is a resolution, it is obvious that the president could obviously say, I want to hear from the people. And those who represent the people can only give me that information, because I cannot go to every county to seek their consultation. I can't do that. So those of you, the representatives and senators, are the ones who will bring that information and say, look, Mr. President, this is what our people want. But because of the political aspect of it, everyone don't want to be blamed. They are preparing themselves for 2029, and they are just disregarding the quest of the people. And this is where I see Representative Benedict trying to play the politics here. He's saying, look, I don't want to be a part of this. I want this to come from the president, as compared to him saying, look, I will do my part. I will fix my signature to the document, and then we will let the president know that, yes, my people want this done. So what is your contribution? So I want to ask the question again, Mr. Benedict. If you were opportune, okay, to meet with your people, would you support the idea of by the way, it is the War and Economic Crimes Court, not just the war crimes. Would you support the idea of the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court when you have actually done due diligence in consultation with your constituents?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Tomalin. So Tomalin George. St. Tomalin George. Can you hear us, Tomalin? Oh. I don't. Tomalin, can you hear us? No, I don't think he can. Yeah, can you hear? Peabody, go in with yeah.
The only thing I have is to talk on this whole Yeke Koba situation that occurred today. People have been calling us, hitting us that we need to condemn it and all of that. But my statement here is that when he did it to previous government, those same people were there hailing him as king, as chief, as and stuff like that. So now, why are they coming out when he's coming to maybe against Joe Black? I don't support the idea of insulting women. I'll never support that. I always told Yeke it's not a good thing to insult President Weah when he came on this station. But why can't we be authentic for 1 minute? Why can't we be? Why we only embrace negative things that support us, but when it comes to against you, then you have an issue with that. Jim Ability, you've been in the house for a little bit now. You found that. I'd like to get your input on that, Chairman. I just saw you at the airport on Friday. Anyway, it was good to see you on my way back.
I'm telling you, look, we have a problem as a country, and hopefully we can deal with it one day. I totally do not agree with Yeke insulting, especially the First Lady, honestly. The President is a politician. That's why he signed up for that. I don't agree with him. But there are two things I want us to look at. The little girl that was in the picture. We are so concerned about the things that Yeke has said. We're not as concerned about what she has been exposed to, the trauma that she has been exposed to. We're also not concerned about the fact that on day one, Yeke accused the United Party and the president and some of his children of doing this, and gave himself 3 days. And during that 3-day period, nobody from the United Party or from the president's family distanced themselves from this action. Even if it is not for Yeke's sake, for that child. I saw that picture. That child and Yeke were not in any compromising position for you to accuse them and put that child through the trauma that you have put her through. So therefore, we are reaping what we sow. It's the same year of 2017, 2016. I mean, 2023, 2021, 2019.
Exactly.
The entire, it's the same year.
Yep.
I had a long conversation with Yeka tonight, and I gave him some advice. I say, we have a lot of respect for one another, and for me, my main concern is I don't want the public to see our House of Representatives in the light of the way they have seen other House of Representatives. I want us to maintain a certain degree of respect. And respect is something that to expect it from people, you must first have it for yourself. So therefore, I will advise him to use other means. Like I said, honestly, I feel very sorry for Liberia. Because Liberia has become a football between CDC and Unity Party. And unless we take another route, because it's clear that these two people, they're not carrying on nowhere. All they're doing is they will just come and kick, and then you can't say, and the other man did it, and the other man did it. The situation with Jackie is a typical example of what we face as a country. Asset recovery. The same thing. We are did it. We are say, but before we did it, Ellie did it. You can't do Yeke. You cannot even do anything to Yeke. Because you got almost 30 lawmakers that are sympathetic to CDC in our house. They would never allow you to do anything to him. We have become pawn in the game between Unity Party and unless we free ourselves from that shackle. To think that the only thing that can be leader for this country must come from the two groups. We got to erase that mentality. They have not served us well in the last 18 years and going to 24 years. We got to start thinking about something different because it's just bad. So the Yaga situation, my advice is to those who are trying to overreact to it. My job as someone that Yaga respect is to tell him the First Lady is a mother figure. I know her. Don't put her in the politics. She's a mother. At the end of the day, I'm not aware that she has made any public statement, negative public statement against anyone in the entire political sojourn of her husband. So to put her in a disrespect, I think that was way too far. If you say that to Yeke, his response would be, what's about the care? And I agree with him. What he did to the little care was wrong and irreprehensible. But you cannot continue to pay one bar with another. So I think we just need to use the moral persuasion method on Yeke so that he can focus on, representation of his people, and then, try to cool down a little bit. We got too many issues. We got a budget, That's my opinion on that, though. At least on the first question.
Sanvee, you have anything to say or ask the chairman? Muted.
I'm gonna call you Musa. I'm gonna call you Chairman Ability. I'll call you
Musa.
Call you Musa. No,
I like the Musa part.
no. I think Musa said it all. The same Yeke that was misbehaving, causing George Weah man, causing Clark Weah, causing Joel Howard, causing Fida Bondo. And I don't know these people, I'm not in their party. It's a thing Weah, I mean, seeing Yeke that continue to cause. Was it wrong then? It was very wrong. Sarah, some of we made post about it that Yeke needs all the help. He's crazy. You even want to say I was saying he is crazy. They play while living the country while in. Yeke will be in an institution getting help, and he should get help where he is. I'll say what I said on my own show, on my platform today. When we were growing up, small children, when we used to go to Capitol Building, that was honorable place. Honorable place. I'm glad that people like Musa and other people there to bring integrity, to bring the face to that place again. For what we grew up seeing. Because to see a lawmaker like Yeke standing on a car hood with short trousers, t-shirt, acting like there's somebody in the hood, like a hooligan. It's wrong. That's not a behavior of a lawmaker. I showed the pictures to my children. My daughter had to ask me, Mommy, who is he? Who is that? Even though I told her he was a lawmaker, she asked me 3 times. Because that's not how the lawmaker behave in our country here, right? No. But my point is, Yeke was cursing all those people, which was wrong. You ain't say nothing. You ain't say point. Let me talk in the Liberian way. You ain't say point. You were chair Yeke. He talking for us. He for us. He turned around cursing. Poor woman, the Ketuman woman, I know her. I mean, but at least she first lady, and she's a woman. Curse that woman. We're coming from church. So I say nothing, I listen, I'm just like, ouch. They say we honor our father. Even she was not president with that older woman. Curse that woman. Turn around, curse other people. You didn't say nothing to Yeke. I said it on my show today. I had a quick show about that. If Yeke cursing other people, your team, men and women, your team, you're off the hook. Tomorrow morning, Yeke will take break on you. He will come for some of y'all who are calling him a Yeke, your poor emoji. Yeke is my hero, your poor emoji. He will come for y'all because nobody off the hook. We must call it for what it is. I know the person who took the picture, whatever they own the political nonsense, but I don't even want to beat the dead horse. Musa said it all. You damaged that lake here in the process because you wanted to shame Yeke, you wanted to call him, and you catch him in whatever, that he was cheating or whatever it is. But you didn't think about a minor child. You put her out there, make her vulnerable. That lady, how she gonna look at herself in the community? When she passing it, say, spoke that way, she they like, bro, okay, big cop behind people. Somebody be picking her, you got one woman, the be picking. Shame. She can't go back to school. She shame to go to school. She can be she to go to community, go to church. The next thing, she takes something over to herself. Or she cutting herself. Or she kill herself. What was it? And then kill her to emergency room and say, oh, yeah. She like, what was it? Because we didn't contain me then. And the people, the man who took the picture, Musa, I hope you have the opportunity to talk to the gentleman. He thought it was cool. If he were in America today, he would be behind bars and he would be fined by the family. You know, it's wrong. And then other people who distributing it, who should know better, they didn't frown at it. When Yeke was causing Joel Howard and other people, they didn't make post of it. But because the family and the friends with other people, they're making posts, they're speaking against it, it was wrong. Yeke should not cost nobody. Freedom of speech comes with responsibility. You don't put me costing people all over the place. Because even if President, I'm not a fan of President. We are bad governance that they don't need. But stick to the issue. You can't be costing somebody man whole day. It hurts. I listened to that today yesterday. It broke my spirit. Why is crazy like this? Yeke belongs nowhere else behind 2 places, behind bars or in a mandatory confinement, not in the house. So y'all who ever to talk, y'all didn't criticize him before. And I talked in the Liberian way. Y'all better start criticizing him now. Because tomorrow, he will come for some of your money. He will come for some of your brother name. He will come for some of your sister name. He will come for some of your relatives and will pay you. And you will expect some of us to talk. We're not say food. You hear me? Food will not say. Because you didn't say anything when he was costing other people. You didn't say anything because everybody don't let George Weah. Everybody don't let whoever. So that mutual enmity in your own. We're not say food. So you better start using your voices for calling things out, calling spade or spade. What you get there was wrong. Whoever took that child picture, I understand we're in social media age where anything out there, people just be snapping your picture all over the place. I get it. But the man that took that picture, he ain't got no sense. And I know he got children. Because he got sense. He will not be putting a child face out there. And he laughing about it on another channel. And acting like it was so cool. Some things are not cool. They're not cool. So that's all I have to say about it. The Yeke stuff. There are a lot of lessons learned from this. Hopefully everybody will learn from it and govern itself accordingly. If I'm friends with Peabody, my friend with Tomalin know I deal with it. They couldn't all of them know that my friend, but I deal with it when I'm ready to deal with it. Call it on. Friendship is for family, is for will fix it. Call it off for what it is. That's all I think. Like, I got to say, but you can't stop. I ain't saying I'm not sorry for nothing else. I'm sorry for that poor child. That got to put herself through all of this. The other people they can nurse their pain.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
So let me say, Tommy George, can you hear us?
You can hear me now, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I came from the airport and I was running to, but then but all the good part gone. But I want to say is that like Musa said something. There's the executive branch of government. They forgot to know that amongst the legislators, you have a successful businessman in Musa who is also an employer. You got a former finance minister Amara Kone, a former minister of state in McGinn, others there. So they understand the government workings. So you won't just. But the problem with them is that you don't have the bench, you don't have the votes, and most of your colleagues there, they are easily compromised. They can start giving them some stuff, and they will just vote. You see, y'all will talk, y'all be on record, but the vote, they don't
That
have
will
the
not be
votes.
on the budget.
Hey, Chairman, they can put it to Chairman, except they give you their own word, but they will just talk, and when they come to vote.
Their budget is not fixable. Let me be clear.
I agree, because I don't want to say, but if you got a vote, no problem. But I want to acknowledge you.
But the point I'm trying to make, it will pass. It's not a budget. We're not grandstanding to say that the budget will not pass. Nobody should tell you that. The budget will pass. It's seriously damaged.
I know.
We'll try to make some repairs and then pass it.
Okay.
It's not like we're saying that the budget will not pass. Just that it cannot pass in the current form. And Tomalin, interestingly, most of the issues got nothing to do with legislature. Because the budget that they proposed to the legislature, we say, okay. Take the DEA, for instance. You make the big pronouncement on the fight against drug. You get a DEA only $400,000. Because you get them $2 million and $1.6 million that towards personnel. Are you serious?
Yeah, Chairman, quickly. Let me jump in my statement quickly. Yeah, but for instance, okay, like the asset recovery, I think you should call them to dissolve it and empower the LCC to do their job. The LCC job is doing. Now I'm trying to find job for any partisan. Now I told the chairman, the recovery chairman, I told you, I stand by what I say. You should not be in existence. They found job for you somewhere different. On issue of war crime code, I talked to a renowned lawyer yesterday, and he said the issue of war crime. He said there's no immunity, nothing for no amnesty for crimes against humanity. He said even our Supreme Court cannot stop it. They cannot stop it. Anything that comes out because it's universal. The war, and we are, like you said, Chairman Musa, we are signatory to a lot of international convention that come against crimes against humanity. So anybody who think they can share away from war crimes code, they make a mistake. Sure, yeah, I mean, the most of the speakers have said that I've been listening for the last 24 hours. If I after he told it, we had a long talk yesterday. Ben and I. One of the things that I would say this though, hypocrisy is our problem. We are hypocrites because and then Musa say UPCDC that what they on hold it now. If the UP person, they will cheer. She's the person they will cheer. That what happening. That what been happening. As a result, is what we are right now. You see, I respect the institution of the Liberian presidency. At the same time, too, when it's the time to speak, whether you are against the person, speak out. You cannot be silent when it's not because in your favor. Okay, there are people who I'll tell you my colleagues are in the background who I know renowned people in society who said they left the district to go for Yeke. But now they are silent now because why? They know that they will be caught out. So, and then the last thing, chairmanability. NSA say they gave Yeke 48 hours to return himself. Yeke said he will not turn himself in. Now, if they're not careful, if people you guys don't talk to Yeke, we enter in another April 6th. I'm saying this
What do
because
you want to
if Yeke resists to go, what they will do? They will you force on him?
But what do you want to see him for?
At the question, they say they put. I mean, that's the question. So that's what I can say right
I
now.
think there was a statement that was made during his press
He said,
conference.
but the man said if he said he said if in that statement, but again,
Right.
No, look, Timani, you know, I don't want to repeat most of what you said, but I think we are on the scene. We are on the scene. I agree with you 100% on the issue of the war crime. It's above and beyond the Supreme Court. So to bring it under the Supreme Court is to keep it below there. We should take it and put it where it belongs. It belongs way up there, above and beyond the Supreme Court. And that is allowed under our Constitution and under our current law. Because we are member of the Geneva Convention and the Rome Treaty, Liberia can evoke and ask any of these entities to establish the code, either inside or outside Liberia. That is allowed. The on the issue of the what was the last thing that we were just talking about? On the is that a Yeke thing?
yeah, the issue about the NSA call that he was
Yeah, the
saying.
NSA called to Yeke. You know, I've heard that, but I hope that the NSA is careful because free speech is decriminalized under the Table Mountain Act. So under the Table Mountain Act, nothing you can say you can be criminally held liable. It can be civil lawsuit against you, like what Debbie was saying, you know, but free speech, nobody, no agency of government will be allowed to harass anybody because of what they say. No. That those are political statements. Again, we need to find a way, and I have said I spoke to Yeke tonight, and I'm happy that Yeke listened to me, I listened to him. My concern is how the public will look at the House of Representatives. If we allow ourselves to be seen as business as usual, they will take a lot from us. You know, so hopefully he will understand that. And next time he wants to speak on the issue, I would not question him on what he said to Joseph Banga. Joseph Banga is president of Liberia. If you don't want nobody to cause him, then he go resign, go sit down. I'm not worried about that one. And my main concern is Mrs. Bwaka, who is not a politician, happened to be the wife of the president of Liberia, with children, a mother, and should not be in the middle of this. Just as that lady has nothing to do with Yeke, should not be in the middle of this. The Oma is a mother. She insulting her or saying things that appear to be insulting to her is not okay. I don't support that. But hey, Yeke insulted other people here. Now, forget about Yeke. The party spent 6 years degrading people, including the one you're talking to here today. Nobody sued them for that. So that one there, I ain't even worried about that one. And then got a name called Baga president. So the president that everybody pepper soup, that everybody cassava leaf. Anything you want to say to the president of Liberia, you can say, hey, Baga Dana Bebe is the president of Liberia. So at the end of the day, yeah. And I'm worried about Baga. I'm trying to make a little bit fun of it because really bringing a first lady, honestly, to me, it was not okay. You can have an explanation for that. But again, the reason why I don't agree with that explanation is because what happened that hurt the old lady, the young lady, by insulting the Oma, it doesn't repair the damage done to the lady.
Yes.
You understand my point? It doesn't repair it. So, in my, one cent opinion, I think Yega will listen to us. I think the speaker also had a moment with him. I have. Tomorrow I will continue it to make sure that, these things are put into perspective, my brother. Where we are reached now, all of you now have to be thinking how we can take Liberia from under the clutches of the CDC and the United Party. It seems to be that both of them, between them, we're going to have 24 years.
Yep.
And it should not be now whether we should repeat CDC or we should repeat, just something new, man.
So,
let's try to wrap it up now because it's 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, guys. Let's do our closing. Musa, get back to let's do our closing because time. I'm looking at the time right now. Our guys in the studio in Liberia got to go home.
What kind of moderator? You let other people get the intake on the discussion.
This is time.
Okay, so let me close.
So I will let the Musa close. He will close. He's a lawmaker. He's the guest here. So let him close.
Well, again, I think if the closing is better for everybody to close so that I can respond to them.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that also. So
before somebody says something that I may not have the opportunity to respond to.
I agree. We can do that. Okay, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let me do it this way. After Grace, you had Telvi. After Telvi, Lofa and Tomalin, they will go to the honorable man.
But I would just say that I will close first and start with what happened with the whole Yeke issue. What is good for the goose, the Congo men will say is good for the gander. So, the same thing everybody keep on saying. I'm the president of the Liberian Women Advocacy Network International. I denounce things that happen to people the unfortunate people. So I don't use my voice to denounce things for people who already have their voice and they are in power position. So I'm not going to say anything concerning what Yeke did and say it was bad or it was good. I would just say that the freedom of speech in Liberia is off to grabs. We just was on a platform where Judy Annie came here and she was insulted bitterly by another person. And it was in court. The same government, Buju Benkieta, working closely with the president, told them to take that case out of court. So therefore, Yeke was using his freedom of speech and he said what he had to say. Now the girl caught in crossfire, I feel sorry for her. Those are the people that I would speak for. And I think she was caught up in a wrong situation because of politics. And she has been traumatized. I don't know how she will live with that, but I hope they have counseling so she can go through that. That's so far what I have to say concerning Yeke stuff. They have reduced Liberia to nothing when it comes to this. Liberia is the only country that you see people on platforms insulting everybody, including the president of the country. Marcos, that's what I'm talking about. Other countries that say stuff, but Marcos insulting them and all that, and they have reduced our country to this. This has been normalized in Liberia, and we don't know how we will go, forward. As Benedict is saying, I think Liberians should do a 360-degree change when it comes to leadership in the country, because the leaderships that we have now, these two parties, they need to be erased. I mean, they can be parties, but they need to go away. Let a whole new group of breed of people come and take over. And then I will close by saying that Liberians, they need a government. They need to cut the budget where this whole government is taking away from our people. All these cars that are being bought for government officials, and Liberia is one of the poorest countries in the world. I know people saying, "Oh, things are changed in the new century." Even in the great United States, people who work with the government,
Thank you, Grace.
they don't get in cars. So we hope that they can change that for our country to be better, for everybody to be able to have the fair chance in living in the country as residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Tavi.
Yeah, I think it was a good discussion. We didn't go deep into the budget. Hopefully, the next time we can talk more. I mean, I agree with Senator McGill and Musa that we need explanation of every line item in the budget. I'm surprised that the people are even reviewing the budget with all supplementary or having those things, because when you present a budget, all of that's supposed to come together for review. But again, that Liberia, so who knows? But I'm glad that they're scrutinizing their budget compared to the past, where they bring budget after a few days. Shoot, the next thing we see in the newspaper, the budget already passed. So I'm glad that they're scrutinizing the budget. Hopefully it's all for the right reason and not for grandstanding. And so we are following. I'm not going to talk about the Yeke issue anymore. My suggestion that people who Yeke can listen to, because we all can get into those crazy moments, but then we have people, support system that we can talk to. When they talk to us, we got to stand still. So I'm hoping that people like Musa, other people that Yeke can listen to, they will continue to hold his ear in our Liberia, saying, hold his ear, put him to check that he doesn't continue all this rant. It was bad before, it's bad now, it will be bad in the future. But that's what I have to say. Thank you, guys, and we'll be following.
Thank you, Tavi. Lofa.
Well, thanks again for the opportunity, guys. I think it was a fascinating conversation. Both lawmakers came here. I hope that in the near future, they can have ample time to really speak to their people regarding what's happening. Regarding Yeke, the issue with Yeke, I want to say the issue of vulgarities on women, I condemn it, but I also want to be emphatically clear in my position when it comes to the gross disrespect to our mothers and sisters, and wives of course.
Now, daughters.
Yeah, like I said, our mother, sister, daughters, wives, all of the women in our society. Let me just generalize that the women in our society, they should not be humiliated in such a way. Nevertheless, if you all can record, Henry Costa, in defense of Mo Ali, humiliated a young woman publicly with thousands of Liberian following. I didn't hear many who are complaining today condemn that act. There were folks from the Unity Party, as a matter of fact, a notorious women abuser in an individual who openly pledged his support for Honorable Boykai, and he accepted that support publicly and appreciated it. I'm sorry that his wife and other female had to endure what they're going through today, but we as a society must stop being hypocrites. Yes. It happened to people yesterday. It happened to people today. If we don't stand up, it will be a vicious circle, a continuous process. Nobody should play as though they're much more of a victim. But what about President Weah's wife? You know the torture and humiliation that lady had to go through? Not from just one side. People were posting pictures of this woman, bullying her on the social media. She deserves better. She's the mother of others. So we cannot come out here today. What about the little girl whose picture was taken and was actually published on the social media platform? It was discussed on the national radio. And those who claim to be people of moral rectitude and other important integrity, they sat there and didn't even think about editing the picture to protect that young lady's face.
Okay.
Okay. We must look at it from all dimensions. Going forward, and I close on this note, Keff Hassan, quickly. It's very important to Liberia. We cannot simply speak of education and then emphasize on the fact that, look, education is having more people to go to school, like Senator McGill said, and then graduating. It's the quality in the education that people look at. It's not the quantity of people that are coming out. It's the quality of education that we provide to these young people that will create a vibrant society, a group of people who will enter the workforce and be able to contribute successfully. Not how many people graduate, because a lot of young people who graduate can barely compose a sentence or paragraphs online without having some kind of grammatical or spelling error. That is not the kind of academic institutions we want in Liberia. We want quality education for all of our young people. And the only way to do it is to invest in education, invest in the young people. And we're talking childhood education. Early childhood education is where we need to invest into, and then we bring out the best of them. Build your foundation right, and you'll get the best out of it.
Somebody judge.
Yeah, quickly.
Let's do it quick.
Chairmanability, representability. Our amongst 1,000 Liberians this weekend in Charlotte, and we're talking politics. One of the funeral about politics what they sent us peace. And one thing, I will tell you this publicly, people were praising you for the way we have been doing this since you took over. The Liberians now. So I want you to continue. Be that voice of reasoning and on objectivity. Don't let nothing to stop you. And one thing I'm happy for, you're your own man. Nobody, you're not there for money. I'll tell the people we can say, and my man was not there for money. He there to change. So I know it. We talk. I know you, and you will change. I'm happy that you are doing it. You continue. You ain't there for the money. So I know clearly. My only worry now I got right now is about NSA business. You're talking to Yeke because you're talking to NSA. You the chairman of national security. Talk to what you need, PSC, the NSA boss. Talk to him.
No, Yeke is not under any threat.
Let him proceed and carefully, because he attempt to force Yeke to go to NSA. Yeke already say he resist. He's not going to go nowhere. So
we will not do that.
Just to handle it. And lastly, today the Supreme Court issued a ruling, some opinion, and people ran with it falsely. We should stop it. That's why I said the asset recovery team, you should dissolve it. President Boyka, if you're listening, dissolve the asset recovery, empower LSCC to do the job. Don't get
what is the people say
about the issue about gracious ride. Some people ran with it and said, "Oh, the season off in Bono Texas, the season off Texas," which was a lie. And you see, because you're against somebody, so you want to just come after the person that kind of way. So no, they asked the recovery will embarrass them. And like you said, the 1.9 billion that they put in the budget for that, you should not give it to them. Give it to LSCC. Thank you, man.
Okay, Musa, I see somebody putting some TCA for Yeke Kolba, the life is fake. So anybody putting that stuff on TCA contribution, anything for Yeke, that's fake. It's not coming from us. They're just using it. Yeah, let me.
Wow.
Yeah, let me just flag this. That's not the. Wait now, they're putting Lofa name there too. You can.
What they want for Lofa?
You have the time. Let him. Chairman close.
It's fake. Okay,
right,
that's fake. Okay, Chairman close.
No, I told y'all. Anytime I can listen to y'all, I like the topic I will join y'all. Our network here. So we will promote it. We'll make it a focal point. That's our job.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it tonight. I think I'm concerned that they will not fast track the budget. Let's try to deal with the issues. The budget will not be here at ransom. We'll try to fix the things that need to be fixed, and then so that we'll move on it. Asset recovery, look, I don't know what UP is trying to achieve, but the way I see asset recovery looking, you got to first identify what you have lost. Because anti-corruption, let the gracious, how do you call it? Gracious what? Something, some gracious mind. They
Gracious Ra. They call it Gracious Ra.
That's not asset recovery. Wow, that's there's something in English they call malappropriation. If you misapply the proper language, then that's what you're doing. The gracious Ra is not vehicle that belong to government. Government it's not like asset recovery me. This is our asset. Somebody took it and we're trying to recover it. So even in their own need, gracious Ra does not fall in that category. When you're talking about asset recovery, your asset and how it must be recovered. Now, if they are saying that the people who get gracious Ra got government money and therefore they bought the cars and then so they want to take the car back, can you see how long that road is? To prove that somebody else stole money, you gotta go to court. Let the court rule that the person take it, and then the court will issue seizure order to say if Musa Berete is guilty of taking $1 million, the court will say you take Musa Berete all a property. Either you bring in 1 million or you take a property, you're selling, you're getting 1 million. If they're accusing the individuals who got the greatest Ra of stealing money from government, then you first got to carry them to court, find them guilty, and then seize their asset. But the way asset recovery starts is with vehicles that government had, and they want to people took it away, and they're trying to recover it. I told them privately, and I'm telling you guys now, they need to establish first what are the assets that are missing, and then publish it for the public to know it. Anyway, you see these cars, and secondly, who they were assigned to. Every vehicle was assigned to somebody. They need to be. You go to Ministry of Information. How many cars were here? 3. Who the car they were assigned to? So. You're calling. You're sending a need to the police people. That's how we do it. So hopefully they will learn from this, and then everything will be all right. But it was a good show, and thank you guys. I enjoy it.
Chairman, thank you and happy belated birthday. Yesterday was your birthday.
Thank you.
Happy belated birthday, Chairman.
Wish you all the best, Chairman. Wish you all the best, man. You're a good man, and Chairman, look, you really have, the short time you've been there, you have demonstrated a very high proficiency to show that you are there to represent your people, and we applaud you for that.
Thank you.
I will call you again. See whether you're not going to answer my call again this time around, but I'll call you sometime.
Jila, you haven't called me for 3 months.
Yes, I did. We'll talk from here.
Okay, thank you, man. And so take over. Thank you.